Now, when we resort to cannibalism,
Screw it,
do we
we'll
start
do it
with
live.
retards or
What?
Be professional, shall we?
No.
No, I know. What was I thinking?
It is just now that I appreciate the fact that you have a thrash metal intro and you have thrash metal hair, son. Oh man. Oy vey.
That's my line. I stole it from a rabbi.
Hell yeah.
Once again, Rick, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, thank you again for the perfect intro music. I will never change it. That's a promise. So, how are you fine gentlemen doing this evening?
Well, I
That was
recently
rather
turned 30, so, you know.
30? Dear God.
your back's about to
That
blow
was
out?
9 years ago.
I know. Well, I've already got, like, pains in my Achilles tendon and my wrist from weightlifting and shit, so, you know, I'm already halfway there.
Weightlifting.
I cannot.
It's really weird.
Look, Justin,
You
not
walked
all of
into
us
that.
use our arm to pleasure ourselves, you know.
I cannot believe I'm almost
But you are
twice
one
your
of them.
freaking age. Dear God.
I know. Dude, people think I look like I'm 21
Twice?
to 24.
Hold on, wait. Twice? So wait, Dark Knight, you're also immortal? You were born halfway through Shadow's life? Wow.
Well, yeah, I know, right? But no, I mean, people. I've gotten some
Shadow
people thinking
Lion.
I'm like 21 years old when they look at me. So you know.
Run with that. Moisturize. Just saying.
Yeah,
I just have
so
a
did
baby
that.
face, man. That's all I got, you know.
Go down to Florida during spring break.
But then I have to deal with Florida people and college people. Why would I want to do that?
That's the point. They're easy. You won't have to use your arm anymore.
I would probably cave my own brain in dealing with college girls.
Fucking Justin.
Anyway.
That tendonitis will go away if you do that.
Well,
Speaking of
build
madness,
some upper body strength and.
speaking of madness, it's H.P. Lovecraft month.
Well, yeah, I wasn't sure if we're going to do another one after this one, but I am totally down with that. We'll talk
Hell
about
yeah.
it
I'd like
at
to.
the end of the show, or at least the end of the review, and then we'll goof off for God knows how long, at least until my battery dies. I'm hoping that Grandma's going to show up, but I kind of doubt it. You know, she's really busy these days.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, I got to get that package off to her. I've got an early Christmas present for her that I know she's going to love.
Things feel weird.
Yeah, I'm just like you as Jackie. We like those Christmas presents I sent you guys.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Got the penguin right here. Ooh. Still not opened.
What are those?
It's a penguin miniature from the
It's
movie.
a Batman war game.
Oh, nice.
Night
That's kind of
model.
cool.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. I don't know when the little guy's going to get to it because I kid you not, he's got a box of about 50 miniatures going back 2 years now that he's supposed to paint, and I could have had him done, you know, a year and a half ago. But like, no, I'll get to him. I'm like, yeah, right.
The great Gray Scourge.
After he graduates high school, baby. But
well, you know, when he goes to college, he is either going to do well with his grades and they will remain unpainted till the day he dies,
right.
Or he's going to waste your money but still get them done.
Well, he's not going to be wasting my money because I'm not paying for college unless things change drastically in the college environment. He wants to go to a Christian college, and I'm guessing by the time he's 18, they won't exist anymore. But we'll see what happens. You know, that's on him, and he might just go into the Air Force first to use the GI Bill, which would be my suggestion.
Odds are that's more woke than the college.
Right.
It's kind of debatable at this point.
Yeah, we'll see what happens the next couple of years, things can change
Yeah.
drastically, or they can get drastically worse.
In college, when they make you walk around in high heels, it's to join a fraternity. In the U.S. Armed Forces, it's for like feminism.
Or a promotion.
Nah, I never seen that. I just seen for feminism.
Well, I mean, it is chair force, so just say.
Yeah.
So you have to get 5 high heels and put them on your office chair.
Hey, is the chair force or the Navy worse?
The chair force.
I mean, I'm just saying the YMCA were the ones who did it about the Navy, not the Air Force. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, that was about being gay. The
What?
chair force is
No.
the chair
I
force is the one
never
about
would have guessed.
the chair force is about the one promoting all of the woke
Degeneracy.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he wants
Hey,
to
do you remember when
fly.
the army used to promote strength to scare away the bad people?
Yeah, now they're promoting degeneracy to enrage our enemies.
Which
Not-
isn't working. They're laughing at us.
Well, no, they're still pretty enraged, but yeah.
Well, I think
And
they're
I'm
more
just-
enraged that you're bombing the hell out of them.
Well, I've heard that the commercial recently changed because the
Yeah.
whole gender equality thing was actually losing them candidates.
Look, all I'm gonna say
Yeah.
is if the Chinese, if their army was as well trained as they say it was, America would have a lot of problems if its technology failed. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm kind of looking forward to it, getting back to using the post office instead of the internet, things like that.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful.
The Russians are doing better on the tech front these days. So
Are they? Huh.
Yep.
Fair enough. But anyway, geopolitics aside.
Yeah, well, we always shoot the shit for a couple minutes before we get into the book. Seeing as how this one was rather short, I think we'll barrel through this one rather quick right off the bat.
we said that with a 10-page story, and it took
Well,
us
yeah,
3 hours.
Yeah, because we did more bullshitting than reviewing. I'm going to start with you, Dark Knight. Even though I already know the answer to this one, how'd you like the book?
Great. Read it. This is like my 6th time listening or reading it. I think it's good. I wouldn't have recommended it otherwise.
You recommended it?
Yes, I was the one who suggested it.
Yeah,
How about you,
And
Justin?
then you got all pissy at me because I said that, or as opposed to the rat in the wall. I know.
I was joking.
I know.
How about you, Justin?
It was okay. It was better than the last one.
Definitely.
Less. What
Meandering?
I'm looking for? Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Meandering. There was still some back and forth, but it was for flavor, not padding.
Yeah.
And you, Crafting.
I'm just the opposite. I liked this book, but I really preferred the last one.
Fair enough.
I think
Okay.
I actually like the meandering.
Fair enough. For me, this is one of the most classic examples of the Cthulhu mythos cycle, if you will. It tells you everything you'll ever need to know in one story when it comes to Cthulhu, Hastur, all the other Yogs, whatever, the names, the weird
Yog
names.
Sothoth. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm lucky I can get Cthulhu out my freaking broken mouth. It's the perfect example. It's the perfect intro to everything else. Although if you use it as an intro, you kind of only going downhill from here, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing. It's kind of hard believing that you have trouble with these words, Shadow, since Hyenokian is your first tongue.
Well, yeah, I'm just stuck with that one. What can I say? I'm still working on English.
Yeah.
No, you see, it's all a conspiracy, Justin. English was actually the first language invented. We just lost it, and Shadow came back. Hey, you idiots! This is the right language to speak.
I like that.
Mm.
So,
Gives the English too much credit.
It's a wonderful language. It's an absolutely wonderful language. But then again, I only have a couple.
Hyenokian?
That one too. No, I was talking about English, of course. It has such. It's just so diverse and so full of nuances, and I love the fact that in the last 100 years it has just absorbed so much of American culture that you can say things that would be completely, absolutely gibberish in other languages, but here it's so full of pop culture that I just love it. I love pop culture, so of course, you know,
Yeah.
it's just a really fun language because it forces you to immerse yourself in all the things that have that we're famous for. TV shows and movies and literature and things like that, and music. If you learn other languages, you don't get that. You're not forced into that. You can learn the language and know literally nothing about the culture. Here, at least American English, you have to learn these other things, or you will be scratching your head all day long. So, for the record, I'm going to start with you, crafting. How many Lovecraft stories have you read?
2.
2. Okay, this one and the next one.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
The last one.
Well, yeah, and the last one, and the next one will be make 3, right? Justin.
I've seen a bunch of movies.
Okay. Like what movies?
Color of the Night.
Color from
What's
Space. The Color of Space.
Yeah.
The
Color of the Night is
the Nicolas
Bruce
Cage
Wilson.
version.
Is there another one? I think that's the only one they did. Of that
I think there might be, but I might be
there
wrong.
was a Stephen King knockoff of it in what's that movie? Creepshow.
Yeah, with the meteor shit where
Yeah.
Stephen King actually played the main character.
Yeah, but as a dimwit.
Yeah.
So he played himself.
Yeah. That's how he sees himself, bro. So
I actually don't know anything about the man. I just know everyone loves giving him shit.
he's a shit lib, bro. He's a shit lib.
Okay.
So just these 2 as well?
In written form, unless I did it years ago and don't remember, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and then there's like what's the one with the fish people and the guys?
Innsmouth.
I've seen like 4 different versions of Innsmouth. I marathoned those one night. And there was another one, but I don't remember the name of it.
Dark Knight, how about you? How many?
Well, I actually started, believe it or not, but Fallout 3 was what got me into Lovecraft to begin with. It was like a little reference to the Dunwich Horror in it. So horror was the first one I read. I read Cthulhu. I've read Nyarlathotep. I've read At the Mountains of Madness just recently. I started Color Out of Space, the audiobook, but I never finished it. And the same with Kadaf. I need to get on those. And obviously, I've read the Dunwich Horror.
Recommendation for you. It's a really, really, really short one called The Outsider. It's like 9 pages tops. It really gives you an insight as to how Lovecraft kind of saw himself. And it's just an odd little story, but it's when you're done, you're like, I wasn't exactly expecting that. Maybe you might. I don't know. It was one of the very first I ever read of his. As for me, I've literally read everything he's ever written except his letters, and I'm working on getting those volumes as well. But I noticed when reading this one, listening to it, etc., my opinion of him is dropped like a half a notch, maybe, and I'll get into that later. Just because I know it's part of what makes him him, but I don't think he and I would have gotten along. Just put it that way.
Who knows?
But then again, maybe I'm reading too much into that. So there was a very
not telling you is that he and Lovecraft were actually really, really good friends. He's just trying to cover that fact up.
we had a falling out. Let's just put it that way.
Hmm.
No,
If you don't mind my asking, what is it about that made you come to that conclusion, Shadow?
he was too much of an academic, and the fact that which leads into my next question. There's only a few characters in the story that are worth mentioning. There's the townsfolk. And I love the way he does the dialogue and the dialects of the folk that live there. Like the way he said "sartin" instead of "certain." I like the way he did that. I as Justin can tell you, I really find a lot of pleasure in writing dialogue myself. So I really dug that. But the fact that the three heroes are, technically
Articulates.
no, that they're old geezers. You know what I mean?
Oh,
They're just old farts. Maybe Morgan was a little bit younger. He pulled out the elephant rifle, but it's just like where's your typical man of action kind of thing, which he knew the word, but he didn't know it in his actual life.
he wasn't like Howard, who actually did boxing and wanted to do it professionally.
Things other than read and write and mind you, I do a lot of that, but I've also done a lot of the other things so that I have a reference point to write. So the Shadow over Innsmouth is the one story where there is some actual action and running and things like that. I had this friend back in the day, one of the funniest guys I've ever known, but he literally ran like this. You know what I'm saying? And I picture him being the same way. Never being able to just book it. You know what I mean? Just for the fun of running. He strikes me as a guy who would have been very pampered.
Yeah, given the fact that he viewed himself as an aristocrat and to a degree was for some years of his life, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and for that, not that I'm super active now, but I do relish the fact that I had those experiences of doing things besides just sitting on my ass all day.
Mm.
So, did you guys have a favorite character? What the hell are you mouthing there, Justin?
You're muted, Justin.
Yeah, if you're gonna give me shit, at least let me hear it.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I was muted. I said there's nothing better than sitting on your ass all day. I was like, whoa.
Okay.
What's this saying? There's a height above being a sloth and lazy ass monkey.
Okay.
That's the American dream, goddammit.
Yeah, but it's after you've done 20, 40 years of hard
No,
labor.
you want to be smart enough to not have to do that.
I don't know,
Or
man.
dumb
I like
enough.
the feel of adrenaline every once in a while.
Yeah, but that's while you're in the sheets. Well,
Sheets
yeah.
are for rookies.
Well, it's this expression, bro.
I know. So I'll start with you, Justin. Did you have a favorite character?
Honestly,
I'm guessing it was Wilbur.
Wilbur, the goat faced guy.
Yeah, the Chinless Wonder.
Yeah, the Chinless Wonder. I thought he was fun. He was fun. He was like sad and such, but he was
Almost
fun.
8 feet tall. Jesus Christ!
He was actually
Why wasn't
9
he out
feet
playing some
tall.
basketball?
He was actually 9 foot tall when he died.
The guy could shingle a roof without even needing a ladder.
Yeah.
So you're going with Wilbur?
I'm going with Wilbur.
I had a feeling.
Because,
How about you, Crafting? Did you have a favorite character?
you spent the most time.
I'd actually have to say, I'd have to agree with Justin because the other characters, they were interesting, but Wilbur felt like a full-fledged character where everyone, even the main characters felt like side characters compared to Wilbur, honestly.
In a way, yeah.
So I liked him for the fact that he was more there, had more of a presence than the other guys did.
Flushed out.
I mean, to be fair, it's such that he's just so alien. Even like the grandfather is the closest to him in terms of being fleshed out, but
Yeah.
because Wilbur is so just inhuman, is what makes
Alien,
him stand up. Yeah, well, being he's half alien, like.
literally in every sense of the word.
Oh yeah, like what I love, what actually is what I liked, like there's this line that she really shows how he thinks is that when old Whately dies and his daughter is weeping, Wilbur's mother is weeping. What does Wilbur say? They didn't get him. He's reveling in the fact that these crows didn't take him.
You mean the whippoorwills?
Yep.
Which I've never seen. I've only heard about it, and he uses them a lot. So it must be an Eastern thing that I'm just not familiar with, even though I live back there. Um, I every time I think of him, there was this cartoon back in the day with this quail, and it had this feather that kept flopping over, and he would make this noise to blow the feather back up. And I always think of those, but I know that was a quail. But I'll have to look up whippoorwills just to see why it was such a predominant thing in so many of his stories. For me, I'm going to go with the dog for Jackie. His favorite character is always the dog that took out Wilbur. And for me, I'm going to go with Morgan just because he was the only one, sensible enough to think I'm going to get an elephant rifle, just in case. All this hocus pocus, nonsense is fine and whatever, but at the very least, it'll get some use. Taking out the elephant gun, shooting out an old one, an ancient thing, whatever. That to me just sounds more relatable.
Let's just be frank. Pulp Cthulhu is based.
I'm sorry, I missed the first part of that.
I said Pulp Cthulhu is based.
Oh yeah. That's our friend Grim wants me to run a Cthulhu game, and I'm like, I can only run a Pulp Cthulhu. Anything else, I'm just gonna flounder.
Yeah, just run the gods the way Robert E. Howard does it.
I would not have a problem running a Cthulhu game. In fact,
the
way I'm setting up the mic. Sorry.
Go for it, crafting.
I was say the way I'm setting up the game I'm working on, it's going to have the possibility you can throw in a Cthulhu creature.
No, what I mean by that is the more academic, the more relying on the witchcraft and the lore and things like that, as opposed to where can I get some dynamite?
Yeah.
Where can I get a big Atlantean sword and hack the Shoggoth to death?
That would be fun.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I do know about Lovecraft from what I've heard, 90% of the time you shoot it, all you're going to do is piss it off.
Yeah,
you're not
because he's ultimately nihilistic in his worldview because he read a lot of Nietzsche. So it's like, of course, he's going to adopt a view that most of these things are beyond your understanding, so you can't kill them. Whereas Howard said, "Nah, that's cringe, bro. Just stab it. Just stab it until it dies."
Yep. I have to agree with you there. What the hell?
Yep.
I just it's just anticlimactic. It's just I'm going to whip out a piece of paper and read it. What are you, process server?
The ironic thing is, this is one of the few stories where the good guys actually manage to win and do some good. Every other ones don't.
That's not entirely accurate. I know. I thought the Mountain Madness at the Mountains of Madness had a pretty decent ending. Yeah, they went kind of nuts, but they still survived.
Right.
What I mean is they actually managed to stop the entity. Most of the times, all you do is escape. You just escape it. You don't.
Well, that's a sort of a misconception, or at least my understanding from what I've read is that it's kind of like the end of the Watchmen. Okay, there's two ways of the Lady of the Tiger. At the end of the Watchmen, you either believe that the bad guy got away with everything, or you believe that Rorschach's journal blew it wide open.
Well, I take it from the perspective of, well, even if Rorschach didn't blow everything open, then Ozymandias would have failed, because it doesn't matter what kind of deterrent they have, because that's an entirely socialist way of thinking. You know, you give it enough time, and
It'll revert.
what's his face? Yeah, it'll just eventually they'll just say, fucking Dr. Manhattan's away, whatever. But I hate this douchebag more, so I'm just gonna kill him anyway. So.
Oh, Naruto actually had an excellent example for this type of weapon and how it was to be used. They were meant to use it, be horrified by it. So many generations go by, they forget that it was a horrifying weapon. They use it again, and then they are horrified by it again. And this will be an ever-repeating process where after so many generations, they'll forget how horrifying it was, use it, go, oh God, this thing is too horrifying to use, put it away, and the cycle repeats. That was actually the plan of one of the bad guys in Naruto.
You see that now with the U.S. government allowing the country that shall not be named because it never does anything wrong, egg on every country on the planet. Like, for fuck's sakes, they're talking about going to war with Ireland because their peacekeeping force wouldn't stand down.
Yeah, they also threatened Ireland essentially with basically flooding the country with refugees because we stood with Palestine. And whether you agree with that position or not, like, that's tantamount to blackmail, essentially.
Well, they threatened more than that, but
yeah. Oh, I know, but you know,
they threatened actual war. But
yeah, the thing I'm talking about was like last year. This was
just last week they were talking about because your peacekeepers wouldn't let them just kill civilians in Libya, Lebanon, or whatever country it was.
Yeah, we're one of the few countries that actually can when we actually send peacekeepers, they're actually peacekeepers, and not like what the UN calls peacekeepers.
And starting the war with China, but like trying to start wars with like hot nuclear wars with nuclear powers actively today, and it's like, do you not know what a nuclear weapon does, bro?
Yeah, it just makes the place inhospitable for about 5 years.
Yeah, so, but the people that it kills is.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like in World War II. I heard Winston Churchill wanted to drop anthrax bombs on Germany.
No.
Yeah, like that was. Fortunately, he tested it on an uninhabitable island off the coast of Scotland. In 1942, that island was uninhabitable until I think 1986.
Yeah, mid-80s.
Yeah.
Well, I've never heard about that before, but
so guys,
yeah.
Back to the story. We got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
DK, favorite part of the story. What's your favorite scene?
My favorite part of the story. That's actually an interesting. Let me think here. My favorite part of the story. I'm just trying to. One second. I think what I actually like the most about the story would have to be just. I like the language of it, like the descriptions of the places, like what you were saying about the local, how the locals talk. It really grounds it in a very specific time in a very specific place. It's not like how every character Lovecraft does before that I've seen. Is just everyone speaks in a very generic aristocratic way, very verbose. Whereas this language is like
his portrayal of the rural folk there was not condescending whatsoever. It was almost
endearing.
Yeah, if not appreciative of a lifestyle that he could never understand, but yet a lot of people in his position would have thrown a little jibe in there, made a little insult, little snide comment about them, and instead he used them as the reason that we fight against these evils is so that these people can exist. This kind of way of life is not trampled by the barrel
Like,
hooved monstrosities from the other side or
like
what have you.
even the way that like one of them describes it, I think his name is Curtis. He says, bigger than a barn, all made of squirming ropes. Whole things, like rather than whole thing, it says hull. Whole things sort of shaped like a hen's egg. Bigger than anything, with dozens of legs, like hog's head. The descriptions are very quaint. I really appreciate it. There are also a few other things, like how constantly it makes reference to disappearances, like the preacher after he made his little what was it that he exactly said? Where was it? His sermon, and then it just says the next thing is Mr. Howdley disappeared soon after delivering this sermon, and it's very obvious what happened to him.
Wilbur got to him.
Oh no, Wilbur wasn't born yet, or he was very young. It was or you mean the grandfather? You mean the grandfather?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. But no, go for it, Justin.
No. What was the grandfather's name again? I can't remember.
What was his name? Let me actually see if I can find it. You guys chat away while I look through the book.
So Justin, favorite scene, favorite part.
I agree. The attention to setting, right? Because that's what that's called when you're locked in on your location and its flavors, its setting.
Oh, it's just Old Whately. He doesn't have a first name. He's just Old Whately.
Old Whately.
Wizard Whately.
Yeah. I thought he had one, but doesn't matter. The attention to maintaining the setting, like a lot of stories don't do that. Which is good.
Yeah, I think it is kind of hard to I think, at least for me, pinpoint an exacting scene, because the whole thing is all just like setting descriptions almost. It's hard to pinpoint it exactly, because every word is almost like describing like just not just the immediate moment, but the whole setting. Does that kind of make sense, Shadow?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The flavor of it. I like the scene where he goes to the library. Oh
yeah,
boy, and he tries to get the book out and tries to talk the guy into
loaning him the book of freaking Vile Darkness.
Yeah, the Necronomicon, and the guy's like, "No,"
and he even for a moment goes. He thinks maybe if I just give him a copy, and he's like, maybe I shouldn't. Just even a copy of this would be a bad idea.
Cool. You're actually touching on my least favorite part, but we'll get to that after crafting. Favorite scene, favorite part. What do you got, crafting? TCG,
sorry,
you there?
Yeah, okay. I am. I muted myself for paint mixing. Unlike you.
Like you?
I have a Vortex mixer. Anyway, my favorite part was with the villager looking through the telescope, and he starts giving the description, then he falls over, basically frothing.
Yeah, I brought that up. Yeah, that was Curtis. Yeah. It's just...
I feel like everything I've heard about Lovecraft was kind of just summed up in that one scene.
Mm-hmm.
For like 5 nanoseconds, he saw what infinity entropy looked like, and it broke his mind.
Yeah.
But hey, we will say, can you at least crafting? This is kind of my own question. Better presentation than the Shoggoth, or worse?
Definitely better than the Shoggoth.
Yeah.
I still say that's the most disappointing part of the Realms of Madness.
It, believe it or not, I can't believe I'm saying this. It had a more defined shape.
Yeah. That's kind of the weird thing.
A writhing pile of ropes is a more defined shape.
Instead of a bunch of soap bubbles with eyes and mouths, this was a soap bubble with eyes, mouths, legs, tentacles, and my favorite scene was the human head on top. In the version that I was listening to, there's actually I don't know which ones you guys saw, but there's these little scenes where they show different like images from throughout the story, and one of them shows the three little dudes, got like looking at the beast, and you see the beast, but then at the very top you can actually see this weird angle where you're looking up the nostrils of the Whately face on top, and kind of the eyes. It's freaking
I mean,
brilliant done.
this is
Also,
why Cthulhu is the face of the mythos, because he's not, because a lot of the monsters, the very famous ones,
goofy.
are all amorphous or goofy
Globular.
or amorphous and globular. They don't have a defined shape. Cthulhu does.
Yeah.
It also helps the
Well,
fact
I
that he's
believe it or not,
150. He's 150 foot tall with a squid on his head.
believe it or not, this famous book, if you can find the copy that actually has the Lovecraft imagery in it, by Earl Otis, the one, the only, one of the greatest
Yeah.
artists of the time, actually has some of the earliest and best depictions of Lovecraftian critters, and believe it or not, almost all of them except Shub-Niggurath, Yog-Sothoth, and the Shoggoth all have very definitive, specific shapes.
Right.
It's only those three that are globular, tentacled monstrosities. Everything else has a very describable shape, other than amorphous, globular, eyes and mouths.
Black tar, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So my favorite scene was the seeing of the face of the Whately, and the fact that it was his twin brother, not something that had been summoned, which was, something people kind of are, tricked away from realizing, but the clues are all there with the cows being
Well, I
brought
actually
up.
think both of them were summoned.
No,
The way
Wilbur and
the way the mother talked, the way that the mother
Wilbur-
talked, and the way they talked about the character, I think it was a sex ritual that did not involve her actually giving birth, but she is still their mother.
No,
Like she
I
basically had
disagree.
sex with something and then allowed its progeny to enter the human world.
I think she actually gave birth to both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were just a lot smaller when
Yeah, exactly. I don't think, especially knowing how grossed out by sex Lovecraft was, I think
Yeah, I was
that
about to
ties
say.
in very well with his concept of the whole process, that only something squiggly and gross and covered in blood, screaming, mewing little monsters coming out of the mother is like sort of a natural connection to his.
I mean, just the sheer fact that from what I can tell, Lavinia, Wilbert's mother, is the only, from what I've seen, depiction of motherhood, like from the human perspective, in his works. And how is she depicted? As an emaciated, boil-ridden,
Right.
sickly old albino that everyone hates, and then she lies down with this
God only knows.
amorphous tentacle monster Yog-Sothoth from beyond time and space. It's like, yeah, Lovecraft really had hang-ups about sex. He really did. It's
Which
very
is
self-evident.
weird, because his one time wife actually sort of contradicted that to a point, which I'm thinking is just good old fashioned Mother Nature doing what nature does, and he succumbed to it, and probably kind of was disgusted with his own self from that point.
How much of that knowledge is known from his writings and not?
From an actual interview with her, she said he was an adequate lover.
Yeah, no. I mean, like his disgust with sex is from his actual writings and
I
not
think that comes from the letters.
the letters.
Yeah.
Is it not like? Is
He
it a
doesn't really.
disgust with actual sex, or like how rampant he thought? Because
I honestly can't say, because I have not read his letters. I'm looking forward to
you
getting
got to
all of them.
remember that like the 20s and 30s,
It was pretty rampant.
Yeah, in North America was not much different than
Today.
Well, I was going to say
per
Weimar,
capita.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the Weimar. Yeah,
yeah, it wasn't
Oh
as
god.
bad with like goosing and things like that, but
Yeah. Just yeah. Weimar is an interesting beast, but we're not getting into that one because that's a little too dark.
We're gonna go back on to
the story.
the reverse of the question. Least favorite. What was your least favorite thing crafting?
Hmm. Crafting, you there?
If you're speaking,
Sorry,
you're muted.
I did it again.
I know.
I'd have to say my least favorite scene was what's his name dying, because they don't explain it very well that it was the dog that killed him.
Good boy.
They just don't. And they describe him being skinless. How did that happen?
Well, it's not that he's
transformed.
So it makes me think less the dog got it and more he read the book and read the wrong fucking spell.
Yeah.
No, it's not that he was skinless. I think it's he was starting to transform into something else.
Yeah.
Like he's becoming more like his father, essentially. Let me just see. Where is the description of him? I'm trying to see.
This is one of the problems. This is one of the problems I have with this era of writing, not just Lovecraft. Is like this is a great that's a scene that should have been in the book. That fight scene should if that was written by Kuntz or
Howard
King, well, even Howard would leave this stuff out sometimes. But if
he wouldn't have left that out though. He would have.
It's too pivotal. It's this kind of stuff is too pivotal to the story.
He's done it a few times. I've seen it where he's left out like key fight scenes. He's better at writing that stuff, but I've seen him do it where it would have been in the story come hell or high water if it was a modern author. It's like, why would you leave that out? Like it doesn't add to the tension or suspense for you to leave out the fight scene. It just diminishes the action.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. It's other than the fact that it wasn't something that he felt he could do properly.
Maybe
because or that it was some sort of taboo to write the gory, violent bits, which to me just doesn't make any sense considering what was available to the common man in the way of pulps and magazines and things like that. And his contemporaries were rip roaring with fight scenes everywhere you went.
Yeah.
Justin, least favorite.
Least favorite character.
Least favorite scene or part.
Well, obviously the part that we didn't get is my least favorite part. Which would make sense, right? Like I don't like
the fact that we didn't get it was your least favorite.
Yeah, the fact that the fight scene was stepped over ham-fistedly was like, what the fuck are you doing here? Why would you do that? But like I just said that, so
okay,
I don't get it. Why someone would make that choice. We could have also used more description in the like day-to-day dismantling of the interior of the house and what was going on there. Not much, just a couple of paragraphs.
That might have dragged it on a little more, but it would have given a little more insight that he could have used for his other stories that would come later. More reference material, more insight into the mythos, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Dark Knight?
I'm kind of going to latch on to kind of what you said earlier, Shadow, in that with the elephant rifle, I actually think that it felt a bit cheap how easy it was to beat this monster. That the only thing that happened was like two people went mildly mad. Like that they didn't actually like fight or have to weaken the creature. We could have gotten a battle out of it, and maybe like he every so often, to shoot the creature I have to spray it and see it, and that kind of stuff. Go into that an actual battle in a way. So that's kind of two pivotal battles that we missed out on, because most of the conflict with the actual horror is other people on the ridge watching it through a spyglass. We don't actually see it.
Which still would have been, a lot of fun to watch. Especially like imagine the onlookers, fighting for the telescope to
And they only see bits and pieces of it. Yeah,
that would have been fantastic.
Yeah, we see like say they cut to one guy, he blasts his rifle, and in revenge they tear his fucking arms off, and he's like they see him just staring down at the stumps of his arms and
or at
just
least
bleeds it
smack it out of his hand,
or something. Yeah,
anything. But what was really surprising about that is, his best friends were right in combat scenes all the time. He could have taken a moment to learn how to do it.
Or at least
even the cheesy, oh my god, the absolute cheesiness of the one bullet, was defective, and that's why he couldn't shoot the dog. Which I'm glad.
Oh yeah, dude.
That was just like, are you kidding me? How
if it had been like said explained that because it's referenced that a lot of the people in Dunwich have flintlock weaponry, like one shot muskets or whatever, and the climate had affected his gunpowder, that would have made more sense.
Yeah,
would have made way more sense because he didn't account for the change in climate, right?
Do you know what you have to do to a bullet to
dent it?
To get that to happen? You have to really mistreat your ammo, and it's in a freaking revolver.
Quality control for that stuff was a little less than it is now. It's a little more plausible, but the fact that he didn't just like pull it out and grab another one,
or just slide the
revolver, click,
just recock the hammer, let it chamber a new round, and then shoot the fucking dog. And plus, so he's sitting there getting gnawed on by an 8-foot-tall dude of supreme strength, getting gnawed on by a dog. He didn't think, I'll let it bite my arm, then I'll put the pistol underneath its jawline and blow its head off.
Yeah. Thank God it didn't, because Jackie be all kinds of pissed off. You don't shoot that. So would Greg.
Yeah.
But, my least favorite part of it
did Jackie read the book?
No, but he did read The Outsider, and he did read The Call of Cthulhu, but he actually read that in Spanish, which was weird.
I need to read Call of Cthulhu again, to be honest.
My least favorite part is, think about this. All over the area, there's copies of this book, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they've got it all locked up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do people even know this freaking thing exists if there's any remote chance that any of it's even remotely actually true? This is a thing that you would burn. You wouldn't hang on to ever.
If it had been like that there's one copy of it and there are wards on it that stop it from being destroyed, that would be one thing.
Or it's locked away in a vault at the library, but nobody knows it's there but a few people, and this Watley guy, he's not getting anywhere near it, let alone being able to copy notes out of it. You know what I mean? It's that rare, you don't get to touch it.
That's why I do like the fact that Watley was smart enough, like Wilbur was smart enough to pivot rather than press the issue. It really does seem kind of sad that he is the protagonist of the story, and yet he dies like very early on in it. It's unfortunate, but
now back then, like it's still the 18 something, right? 1890, No, it was,
No, it was like
It's
it was like
1920s. It's 1920s. Yeah.
like 1927 because World War I was over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that mentality of like, yeah, you can go to the library and read a rare book. Don't forget, we're used to books breaking down because of the acid paper from pulps,
Well, I
which
mean,
they hadn't experienced yet because
I mean,
pulps
well,
weren't
there's
old enough.
literally
No, I
entire
don't mean so much the rarity or the composition.
the danger of the actual contents of the book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
These-
but
the-
if they just thought it was like some stupid old
Occult
occultist
ritual.
book, yeah,
Then
and like
they wouldn't have treated it with such reverence, because there are
no, it
thousands
would
of
have
such volumes.
Well,
it
the
would have
funny-
just been in the library as like some curio, right? And then because that's what they get.
All the time.
They get that all the time, but like, okay, it's an old book. It's an old book. It's a couple hundred years old. It's some like weird thing from the 1600s or whatever.
Oh no, dude! This book, the
No,
actual.
that's what they would have thought that it was.
Fair enough. Well, they know that it's
So
by
it's
by
expensive because
Al-Hazred.
it's old, not
They
because
know.
they think it's
Well, they
weird.
know that it's by Abdul Al-Hazred, so they know the book is very old. This is the Necronomicon is just the modern translation of the damn
But
thing.
like you said it yourself, though, DK, when the librarian is looking and watching what he's doing, he's like, yeah,
Then he gets freaked out and says, "No, you can't copy
yeah,
it."
you know,
Because
you
he's never
can't-
read it. It's obvious that he hasn't read it because he's like looking over his shoulder and seeing all these weird formulae talking about these death monsters from beyond the stars. And he's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Well, no, let's rewind a little bit before that. The fact that he's talking to an 8 foot tall monster in his library, you know, who
It's chinless, fish faced,
That's
psycho.
the thing. That's the one thing. If Lovecraft had made him like 6'7" or 7 feet tall,
Mhm.
it's more plausible. I know a person that's 7 feet tall, but it's
freaking the Caymanite from the Caymanite from To Serve Man comes walking in your library, you know, and he's looking for a rare book.
In rags. That's the other thing. Because of Wilbur's physiology, he has to wear these large, raggedy robes. So this mangy, stinking, fish-faced, chinless, dark-haired hillbilly with a southern drawl, and it's like 8 feet tall and has this menacing look to him, this psycho gaze, is asking for this book. You'd think,
yeah,
maybe I shouldn't.
It's out on loan. Maybe come back in a week. So I
maybe if they didn't, if I were writing this, I would say they don't know exactly what the book is, and what Wilbur would have done is, since Dunwich still sends family members to like Cambridge and like these very prestigious universities, because he does reference that, he would have leaned into that. He would have said, I'm trying to be an academic for so and so, you know, in a Miskatonic University or Yale or something, and I'm a Wilbur. I'm a Whiteley from Dunwich. I mean,
he practically tells the librarian what he's doing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm like, no, get the frick out of my library. I'm gonna go get a couple of
I'm
dogs.
gonna call the cops.
Yeah, you're a monster. We're gonna get some torches and pitchforks, and we're gonna hunt your ass down like Frankenstein, like they should have. But no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it's
you
a
get
little...
you get that whole sense about the town where they just don't believe in the superstitious crap anymore. It's like the forgetting the past.
But you know what's also funny though, when you think about it, if this was trying to be accurate, it would have referenced more things like Satan. You know what I mean? As opposed to these alien things that nobody's ever heard of because he just made them up. You know what I mean? There would have been some references to you know, Satanism or witchcraft or things like that.
Or even just the fact it would have been like the Jinn. If you want to go like the Islamic one, like
but the people of this town wouldn't have called it that. They would have called it Satan. because they're
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Christians.
Well,
Exactly.
like I mean, that's what the preacher does. He says, what was it exactly that he says? Let me just get it up. Let me see here. Where the fuck is it? It's early on in this story. Okay, he says, it must be allowed that those blasphemies of an infernal train of demons are matters of too common knowledge to be denied. The cursed voices of Azazel,
Yeah.
Buzrael, Beelzebub, and Belial. That's the only time that we see real. Now, some people say God and the devil, and stuff like that, but they never use actual Christian terminology.
Right, which is something
Yeah.
he does shy away from, but there are a couple of instances with vampires and things like that that he reels it back in and makes it more accessible
Do you
instead of
think it's
trying to.
because he was obsessed with his own mythos, or
Yes,
Probably. Oh
yes.
yeah.
He was
Well,
trying
the
to
dude.
brand. He was trying to develop a brand before the term existed.
Well, the dude was an atheist. Like he didn't believe in God, so it doesn't surprise me that he didn't wanted to shy away from it. But he was probably likely an occultist, so
Yeah, yeah,
he was probably practicing magic. A lot of his inner circle were. It wouldn't surprise me.
yeah. I think it's undeniable
I
that
mean,
he
where
that
did
he
Ho-
learned.
where did Howard learn about like the sons of Arius and the Lemurians and the Hyperboreans? That's all from Theosophy.
Yeah.
You know, the 7 stages of mankind's spiritual incarnation. It's like,
that stuff wasn't hard to get a hold of. Like it still isn't. Like fuck.
No, but growing up in Texas, in a rural
in rural
town.
Texas
Yeah,
back then,
it wouldn't
not
have
have been
been
easy to get.
exactly. Yeah, it wouldn't have been exactly on the news rack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and most
He,
people wouldn't have read it or talked about it because it's weird occultist shit. They would have been talking about the Bible.
yeah,
You know?
everybody around them would have assumed the worst. So
Yeah.
they probably had to do some pretty covert research. Going to other towns where they
Mhm.
wouldn't be recognized, borrowing the books, making long trips. Which Lovecraft was famous for. Going completely out of the way to get to crazy places. In addition to sleeping in cemeteries and creepier shit than that.
I
Um,
did not know. I did not know that he did that. That's a bit.
he traveled
Yeah.
far and wide to go to very odd cemeteries, just to take in the air, so to speak.
Yeah,
Well,
bask in the ambiance, essentially.
authors do that though, right? Sometimes, especially old school
Right,
ones.
but when you're bussing it everywhere you go, back then, you know what I mean? Because you don't own a car and you don't know how to drive, and you're taking buses, you're going to be spending the night on park benches and in bus stops and things like that. He was very well known for bringing canned foods and things like that with him everywhere. Eating out of sardine tins and stuff like that. I guarantee he was also pretty used to
That
sleeping
that
on
could
the road.
also be like a byproduct of growing up during the Depression, though. So
Well, he was poor. Like Lovecraft was poor as shit for a lot of his life because
Well,
he
yeah, but
refused to
but
get
what I mean
royalties
is
from
that
his work.
that he was
that's just stupid.
he was
It was an
very
he because he was like of the aristocratic line, and they believed that it was beneath them to make money off of your writing. It's a gentleman thing. It's just pride. That's all it
Yeah.
was.
it's
Yeah.
retarded.
Oh, it is absolutely.
You get
But
paid. You
again,
get paid per syllable. God damn it! Excuse my French.
yeah, yeah,
But he
yeah.
was very. He was very. It was kind of like a perverse pleasure for him to see how the other half lived and to go to these shady areas and bad neighborhoods and sort of slum it, if you
which
will.
which
And
is absolutely hilarious given how much he railed against people from outside his neighborhood supposedly fucking up his neighborhoods as in his own words. That kind of funny that, but
and,
whatever.
and, and you know and
Well,
uh,
there's a big difference between moving somewhere and just visiting.
yeah, he was
Uh,
he was very much a tourist of these places, and a lot of the little money that he had either went into traveling to weird places
or rent or buying books.
and stamps. No, he
Mm,
probably bought more actual individual stamps than any man in history.
really?
Yes,
Mm,
I believe it's on the line of like 100,000 letters he wrote.
Jesus. Not
Can
even
you imagine?
Tolkien wrote that much. Not even Tolkien wrote that much. You
You know,
know.
even at 10 for a penny or whatever. I don't care the price. Just the sheer volume of stamps. If you were to go to the post office and say I need 100,000 stamps, they'd say, well, we're going to have to empty every post office in the state
In
to
the
get.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what I mean, Justin, was that he was very terrified of the unknown, and that was kind of the point I was driving. That he goes to all these really sketchy places, and yet he was terrified of certain
Well,
places in his own local neighborhood.
Well,
That was the
he
point I
was.
was driving.
I think he was more terrified of strangers.
Yeah.
The other.
the other. Well, that's one of the things. Like you're talking about the sex earlier. I was like wondering how much of that is a
From his childhood.
byproduct. Well, no, is a byproduct of you know how our academia revises things today to
Yeah.
belittle people that they don't like.
Yeah, that could be the
So
case.
I'm
I can
wondering how
see.
much of it's that
Yeah,
because
how much what do they call it? Detractors.
Revisionism.
yeah,
Detractors. Tried to smear him,
yeah,
Oh, I mean, it's entirely possible. You know.
especially if those detractors were of, I hate to say it, a Christian leaning. They could see him
well,
as sort of promoting something that's blasphemous or something like that. I could see that back in the 30s
Though
and
even
40s.
then, that was very like
you
that's
don't
kind
even
of
have to worry about it then. I'm talking about like now.
Yeah, there could be
Uh,
that too. Just because he's so beloved, one of those true artists that did not get what he deserved, but after his passing, he's suddenly the greatest thing since sliced bread. And
yeah.
well,
I
it's
mean,
also he had political beliefs that did not
good. I
meet the
mean,
audience.
look at he's an old school Democrat from like the 20s, so that doesn't surprise me that the way he thought. But aside from that, I mean, there was a game, a role play game that wanted to be like they based it. They wanted to get the license for the Terminator series for this game, but they couldn't get it, so they used Lovecraft instead. Um, and of
Sure.
course, they had to put the fucking warning at the front because, of course, they did. You know
Sure.
although he was very influential, his thoughts and opinions do not necessarily reflect and blah blah blah. And
It's why I stopped watching. What's the Gorilla Games because they did the.
what happened with Guerrilla Games? Like, what games did they? I'm not too familiar with that studio.
No. They're a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
It's Gorilla, right?
Let me check.
Uh,
I don't know. Let me look this up one sec. You keep talking.
uh, what's that guy's name? He does the live plays of like smaller games. That's cool. Where the fuck
Ash.
did everyone else
Name's
go?
Ash.
Ash, yeah, Ash.
I don't think I know that YouTuber. I've not. If you have a link to him, I'll check. I might have seen, but not.
Don't worry about it. He mostly does indie games. Um,
Fair enough.
but they went through they went to review Lovecraft's works and like they took time to like well in the 1950s he was a racist so it was a racist
Well,
and let's just shut up about that, man.
and I would just say one. He even renounced his own position on those things towards the end of his
It's
life.
sad.
So what?
He
Yeah.
wasn't. He
Well,
wasn't a racist. The man married a Jewish woman, and he was just a product of the time. There was
Yeah.
the word racist didn't even exist back then for
well,
him.
it's a Trotskyite term. Let's be frank. It was invented by Trotsky.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was invented
so
by a Jewish man.
I
Yeah,
suppose.
it was. It wasn't that he look down upon or anything like that. It's
He
just
just
the way
didn't
the
trust
rest of
them.
the world was back then.
His entire neighborhood was getting fucked up by people who didn't care for it, um, and he just didn't. He just the notion of being distrustful of people who don't like where you live in Ireland, that would be completely unconscionable. Like saying, "Oh, what? We're expected to not love our country? What the hell is wrong with you?" Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on.
But your government, just like ours.
oh, I know. I know, but that we don't consider them Irish, really.
Well, yeah, the Indian guy is not Irish.
Because they're not.
Oh, he's not. He's not running. He's not running the country anymore. He after
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
There was a referendum to try and change the constitutional meaning of woman and family, and overwhelmingly, like 70% of the country rejected it.
Yeah, good.
Only one section of the country voted in a tiny minority. Like it's in a. It was a majority, a slight majority, and it was the rich, posh, douchebag area of Dublin, and even then, it was like 54%.
Is that where the Google?
I think so. It's people where like Bono and those kind of dumbasses live. Those rich dickheads. But no, that was the only place that was 54%. Everywhere else was like 55 to like 70% against it. If you looked at the country in totality, they said 70% no, we're against both of these things. And he dissolved the government and fucked off to New York and quit. It's hysterical. It's hysterical.
I want to rewind the conversation back to Ash. I love that channel. Did great reviews on some of my favorite games.
Oh yeah. But
I just totally missed that, and I haven't watched it in a while, and that really bothers me. That he caved to that kind of pressure. He should have just said nothing. He should have just said
exactly. Should have said nothing. Like you only do that. You only create those reviews and do that if the purpose of creating the review is doing that.
Virtue signal.
Yeah.
And that was unnecessary. They were a huge channel that just did the thing that you wanted them to do. They played the freaking game, told you how to play the game.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem. You can't not say anything to these people because silence is an admission.
Is violence.
Fuck those
people. Yeah, silence is violence.
Yeah, exactly.
Except for when they're silent.
That's literally the weakest minded thing I've heard
ever.
Just today. Every day's a new day full of.
That's fair. I'll grant you that. Yeah.
Tragic weakness. I mean, I live in California, so it's everywhere. But
you live on the sticks, I would imagine.
Got me to buy 2, if not 3 different games. When I wanted to know if this game was going to be fun and if I was going to like it, I went to those guys, and that's a shame. But again, I can kind of see it because if you've noticed, Justin, over the years, he's kind of gotten softer and squishier, or you might say fluffier, which means weak to a certain extent, that I could see him caving into that for fear of, not being able to maintain the reputation that they had worked so hard to get, which was just solid gaming for the sake of gaming.
It was the same thing with the Act Man. I never really liked the Act Man too terribly much, but he did the same thing, where he's this kind of normie dude bro guy who like played COD all the time, and then he's like dude, he's like one of the bigger YouTubers. Like he's like at least 1 million subscribers. But he's just kind of. He basically turned left wing essentially out of cowardice. I don't believe he truly believes it. I don't think he does.
I don't think half of them do. But back to the story.
A lot of them don't, bro.
Maybe not.
Especially here, like where I live, you can see it. You can just tell. You know what I mean?
It's performative. Yeah.
I'll get into trouble if I don't.
Yeah, it's purely a defense mechanism. So,
excuse me. Sorry, I'm yawning. My apologies.
Good conversation so far. Again, Grandma, if you're watching this, wish you were here. Now, with the one of the usual questions I ask, what are you going to take away from this and add to the next time you role play, or maybe not the next time, but what's something you're going to take away from this and try and incorporate into your gaming? And since crafting has been so talkative, can't get a word in edgewise, what do you think crafting? What are you going to borrow from this?
You're muted.
Probably.
Oh, no, I'm not.
No, I just assumed he wasn't. Was saying
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna take away from this. For my games, unless I'm playing a Cthulhu game, not much.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind running Cthulhu. I'm pretty confident I could. But Cthulhu is not generally part of the type of game I run.
Mm-hmm.
It might be occasionally, but this particular Cthulhu story, I don't feel has anything that I'd run in a normal game. This would definitely be something I'd run in a Cthulhu game, not my general game.
Okay. Justin?
A freaky tall dude with no chin. I'd put that in a game in a heartbeat. Just because it would be funny if anybody noticed it and knew where it was from.
Uh-huh. And I won't call you out. I won't call you out.
Yeah. I resemble
that. To keep your little twisted secret, I've kept so many so far, so why not one more? Right?
Yeah, Justin blurts all yours out all the time.
Yeah. I get paid to.
One, because they're not true, and two, because they're not secret.
That's what makes them so much fun.
Right? How about you, DK?
Honestly, I would take the. What I would do is if I was running like a small village, that like say like a castle Ravenloft type thing,
Sure.
I would have the rustics in the village and maybe Wilbur as like an antagonist or like the leader of a cult. Or if I was running a mega dungeon, I'd make these the locals as like these crazed lunatics who serve Wilbur, and they're trying to summon a Shoggoth type creature in the dungeon, like as
or a good old fashioned demon or whatever.
Pretty much, yeah. And like, if you don't stop them in time, like just as a random thing. Oh yeah, now by the way, since you didn't stop this cult in this mega dungeon, now you can encounter demons running around on this level and a few other levels as well.
Or escaping completely, going to wreak even.
Oh, yeah. So now your overland travel is going to get fucked with. So have fun with that.
For me, two things. I like using the locals and bringing them more in, especially in a role playing aspect. Getting to try and talk like them. I really like that. But more than that, I like the idea of the old sage-like academic guy being a fountain of information, which is the way it's always meant to be since the beginning. Sages and wizards and people like that. Handing out clues, valuable.
If you actually look at it this way, the wizard, the guy, I keep forgetting his name. The actual guy who figures out and reads the book for a spell. That's essentially like a wizard, because he spent like days or weeks doing this. He was prepping a spell. He was creating his own spell.
I think he was just trying to piece together a spell that had been dissected.
In terms of game mechanics, you could easily say, well, it's just like this in the Dunwich Horror. You're spending time going over these rituals to fully understand them so that you can prepare them.
I like the idea how in most fantasy games, every spell has been tweaked a little by the writer in the book, and to decipher that guy's writing, you would have to go and find another copy of the same spell by another.
You have to reverse engineer it, essentially,
and compare and contrast the two, and weed out the personal quirks of this guy, right?
Yeah,
and to boil it down to this is all I need, but now that I have all I need, I'm going to add my own little quirks to it, so that anybody comes across my spell book, they're going to have to go to 3 different books.
This guy's magic mouth or magic mouth spell only works if kobolds come by, and this is the only version I have. So I'm going to have to deconstruct his sigils and then reconstruct it in my own way so that it only works on elves.
Or whatever, right, exactly.
Yeah.
especially with the higher level spells. If you think about it,
Oh yeah.
because this was literally the equivalent of the 6th level summon
Summoning
demon.
demon spell, basically, yeah. It's like
Right.
a
And,
summoner level 3 or something.
no, well in D&D you'd have to be like
No, like there's like I'm going for OD&D. There's like summon monster 1, summon monster 2,
okay,
3,
yeah,
4. Yeah,
right,
that's what I meant. Yeah, so it's like the 3rd or 4th iteration of the spell. Extremely powerful stuff. You
right.
have to be like 7th level magic or something like that.
I was thinking the summon demon 6th level spell where you'd have to be like 11th or 12th level to cast it.
Oh,
So
bare
it's
minimum.
like way up there. And this if the players are serious about something this hardcore, it can
Yeah, you're
even
gonna
be
summon an Alfishni or something, or a Merilith or something, or some god awful abomination like that. Like,
or even any other really high level spell that I think might be a little I don't want to just give it to them, so I want to make them work for it, and
hmm.
therefore make them do a little legwork, a little research, hand out some coin here and there to make it because they're going to wreck my game, so to speak.
Well, yeah,
If,
they're in the little brown booklets of 1E. Like I'm reading the basic experts clone of it for White Box and Chainmail. There's
okay,
like it could take you to. It's like it's like I don't know what the coinage. It's like 100 or 1,000 times level, and then
yeah,
it's that number of weeks. So if you're like prepping like a 9th level spell, if you can even cast those spells, because if your intelligence isn't high enough, tough shit. But if you can, you could spend upwards of at least 9 weeks prepping each 9th level spell.
yeah,
Like
just to
that's
learn it, to
yeah.
acquire it, to learn it, and to then
No,
transfer
that's
it.
just to make it. That's just to make it. Then you have to make
Like
the intelligence
scratch
check to see if
from
you can
scratch.
actually yeah. So if you fuck up the intelligence of scribing it into your book, then you're fucked.
Yeah,
Then you just wasted all that time and you can't do it
and
again.
money, and money. Yeah.
It's still cool, you know.
So, is this one you're going to recommend, guys? DK?
Uh,
Okay, go ahead. You're already.
oh, sorry. Yeah.
You go, Justin. You go, Justin.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. I'd recommend it to anyone who's interested in
In Cthulhu or just something similar?
something similar, and they have no problem with epistolary writing. Epistolary writing does turn me off. It stands out too much, and this is like it's Lovecraft's signature, but so you gotta like hold your breath on that if you're against it. But
Yeah.
if you like it, it's okay.
What would you recommend?
Yeah,
This no. Would you recommend it first, or would you maybe recommend something else to ease them into it? Through a page count or
I don't know enough. I'd probably recommend watching one of the movies first.
okay.
And
I would
then
love to see the movie of this.
yeah, the movie of this. Like
I
this,
think Dark Horse did comics on the select few of these. Like there were 2 volumes. I have them, and the Dunwich Horror is in it. So if you can track them down, like they're not bad.
this one does really remind me of King writing, though, right? Like especially the book Insomnia.
Hmm.
Well, King was a big fan of his.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Which,
actually toying with the idea of actually going and breaking out my complete works of Edgar Allan Poe to get behind, like I do with games. I want to read the oldest of the old games, and I don't think I need to go back any further than Poe, which was what, like 100 years before Lovecraft. And if he was a big fan of Poe, that would be like us being big fans of Tolkien or Lovecraft, for our gaming inspiration, which is what this show is all about. I think
yeah.
I'm going to have to pull it out and get to it in the next year if I can. It's not going to be in the next couple of months, but I do think uh, it warrants a look see and uh, you know get behind the scenes of what inspired Lovecraft.
Yeah.
And
How about
Dunsany as well. There's
how
another
about
one.
you, TCG? I know you're probably going to say I don't have anybody to recommend it to, but if you did, would you?
Yes, I would if I had somebody recommended. most of the people I hang out with would not read the books that's on this list. Maybe a few of them, but like the Conan series, I might be able to recommend to my mother and father. They kind of like medieval stuff. Same with Call, but everything beyond that, like the Elf series, I don't think that'd be the Elf books so far. I don't think my father would be too interested in.
Right.
Things like that.
Well, because I know a lot of the people you hang out with online, and they're already like way ahead of you, so to speak.
Oh
when
yeah.
it comes to Lovecraft or some of this other stuff. But my dog is being a weirdo, dude.
What's new?
Aw.
Yeah, he's the best.
Aw.
Watch this. This is his favorite. Mwah! So, okay, same thing.
Would I recommend this? I would, but I don't know if I would recommend it first. I think I may recommend like The Rats in the Wall before this one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still not bad. Now, like with our discussion, it kind of did open, like what Justin was saying about the fight scenes. Really did kind of like, yeah, that is kind of a downer now that I think about it. But I still think it's one of his better ones. I still think it's really good.
I might actually go with either the festival or the Shadow over Innsmouth. They seem a little bit more accessible to the average people that we know,
Right.
for their first step into Lovecraft. As it's more urban, less rural, and a little more modern feeling to it. This one feels really, really old. You know what I mean?
Archaic, almost.
It's what's that state called? New England. It's the New England vibe of it.
Yeah.
Which New England has that very
Gothic.
Gothic. Well, it's old English town.
Yeah.
Vibe.
I honestly think it would be easier to recommend Mark Twain in a lot of ways.
Well, I just finished watching the Dead Zone TV series, right? And it takes place in the early 2000s, and it felt, besides some technology here and there, it felt like very 80s, like early 80s, because it's always, and still that's like the urban environment of the TV producers more urbanized or modernized the flavor of
Virginia's
the show.
a lot like that too, from my experience, because I've never been to New England. But hey, what's up, Off Grid? I found the Virginia with its historical significance and all the places that I lived really close to, that Jamestown and things like that. It was just everywhere. It was just so prevalent, even though it was hundreds of years later. It was just it's just like almost oppressive in its hey, look at us, we're famous for this and we're never going to change kind of attitude. And
cultural stagnation, basically. This is sounds like cultural stagnation.
It's not so much stagnation in some cases as maintaining their culture,
right? Which is fine. When I was there, I didn't appreciate it as much. Mind you, I was in my 20s and thought I knew everything.
Don't worry, you grew out of it.
Yeah, clearly, because I don't know shit anymore. But this
the wisest
this
man
is definitely
understands that he understands nothing. Sorry,
nothing at all.
That's a damn thing. Who are you guys? What am I doing here?
Oh God, Grandpa's going loopy. Time to get the pills again.
My God, what have I
pills.
done?
We don't use pills. We use tasers, bro.
So what? I think we've torn this one to pieces. I think we all had a good read. We deserved it.
Yeah.
Read. You think I have time to read? I listen.
Well, yeah, same here. I listened to it.
I did both.
I was amazingly grateful that it was only 2.5 hours. I'll try to link the version that I listened to. It was pretty good. The guy was
I didn't mind the one I put in the chat.
And God, how freaking spoiled are we, and how busy and jam packed are our days? Where a 2.5 hour book I couldn't get to until the last 2 days of the.
You
Of the
forgot all about it until I reminded you last night.
yeah,
No, I forgot about it myself, but I was fortunate that I have already, like I said, read it like 5 times.
Yeah, same
So,
here.
yeah.
But I thought I had another week, and off
I
grid.
forgot
Then what
myself.
caught my attention? There's a quest in Fallout 4 exactly centered around a boring operation that earns
Oh,
some.
Oh, hey,
It's not
if
even
you
that. It's
actually
also,
noted, if
believe
you
it or
pay
not,
attention,
it's in Fallout 3.
Sorry.
Right, I'm saying it's
If you
also in
pay
Fallout
attention-
3 because there's.
Sorry, I'll let you go and finish.
Yeah, you go ahead. I'm done.
If you actually pay attention, because I've watched people play the original Fallouts, every single Fallout has a Cthulhu reference.
Good on
One
them.
and two,
Even if
one
it's
and two
vague.
don't. One and two
Really?
in
I
New
could've sworn
Vegas
they
don't. Maybe they kind of do because it's very weird.
There's a
but
Cthulhu
two,
reference in Fallout New Vegas. You just got to play in Weird Lands or whatever.
Oh, that would explain. Yeah, Weird Wasteland, Wild Wastelander. I don't really use that perk, so that's probably why. And that might have been just
I love that
Bethesda
one.
putting it in. Yeah. I think I just hate it because it wastes a trait, but there are mods that like treat it as like an accessory. But
Yeah.
no, I don't know if there's many of the. I'd have to go through it again with that, but no, it's really more so in the Bethesda side. So Fallout 3, Fallout 4, and 76. That does that. Like the first one is there's a building called Dunwich, like Dunwich Incorporated or something like that, or the Dunwich building.
I wanted to bring that up. The guy
Yeah.
that read the version I read always called it Dunwich. The W just disappears somewhere.
Yeah, that's a thing with
Old English. Yeah.
Yeah, Old English. It's either silent or a V sound in proper English.
Yeah.
I never knew that, and I was like, that's kind of
yeah.
interesting, you know.
It's like Norfolk. Like people like it would be Norfolk, but they just say Norfolk. Like you don't pronounce the R and you barely pronounce the R and you don't pronounce the L. Norfolk, Essex, Wessex,
Yeah.
you know, Sussex,
Yeah.
you know. You know, it's just England is weird in how it pronounces things. It's very
well, that's
kinda like
actually
that too.
the proper way to pronounce it. Like,
yeah.
no,
it's just weird. Some of the things that you know you'd think or pronounce one way because of how they're spelled, but they're not. It's just, but that's in every language to be honest, especially Irish.
That's got to do with the Saxon invasion.
Yeah.
Of that and
But yeah, the Germanic stuff. Yeah, it's.
English is a language based on how many times it's been conquered. So
what are we going to read next, guys?
Well, I recommended the last one, so.
You said you liked a story a minute ago, Shadow.
Yeah, Shadow over Innsmouth. I think it's a little. It's got action. You know what I mean? It's got running and busting through doors and even a little gunplay. Can you believe that?
Oh my god!
Does it? Here's the important question: does it have chainsaw juggling?
Oh
no,
no.
Sadly, no.
Sadly, no.
No.
So let's go with Shadow over Innsmouth. It's
that works.
Okay, if one of you want to try and find it this time,
it's also got.
I'll do it.
Just pop it in the book club.
Yeah.
Because would anybody believe me if I set him under attack?
By what?
If you
3
say
fluffy
cats,
balls of claws.
I knew it. I called it.
Cats.
Oh my god. The spirit of Lovecraft's beloved cat has risen up.
You know, just for Raven's sake, we should.
I would say his name, but it would get shut up.
Yeah, I know. What's the cat's name?
We should read.
Starts with an N. It's got a couple of G's in the middle.
Yep.
Right. We should cover the Cats of Uthar just for Raven's sake. It's about a 12-page little story of why you don't mistreat kitties. But
we can do that one. That my pick is the one after yours. Well, technically, this is my pick, and yours is the next one. But
okay,
we'll reverse it. You want to do Shadows of Innsmouth?
Yeah, just because it's such a departure. Like I said, there's gunplay. There's running around and explosions and the one and only game I've run of Call of Cthulhu in recent memory because I always throw H.P. Lovecraftian stuff in my games. Ask Justin.
Yeah.
It's why the hell not? I mean, it's got so much potential. Even in the version of
There we
Call of
go.
Cthulhu I have, it's got an entire chapter on running it, in a fantasy D&D kind of game.
Okay, so here's a question for you. We're missing next week, and then the week after is Shadows over Innsmouth.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Do you want to do it again the week after that?
Just to try to squeeze it in faster.
Squeeze in, and it will be on the 31st?
because it's Halloween.
That's why I'm saying.
I say yes.
That's
to that.
why I'm
I
asking.
want to do one on Halloween.
Yeah, sure.
I
Sure, why not?
like that. Yeah, and at the very least, we can get Raven to actually read a 12-page story.
Yeah, and we'll do the cats.
Yeah.
We'll do the rats in the wall. I think on Halloween would be a good one because it's nice and short.
No, we're talking about the cats of
Uther.
Uther? I've not heard of this one. Let me check this out.
I might be pronouncing the name wrong, but
Cats of.
Thanks, Off-Grid. Looking
Ulfar.
forward to the game Sunday, man.
Ulfar?
Thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Yeah.
It's a real short one, and
It's like 7 minutes long. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you found it. Okay, cool. Yeah,
It's on
7
YouTube.
minutes.
It's on YouTube. Yeah.
7 whole minutes. Wow, we could
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
we could actually cover that in like
20 minutes.
no. Come on.
No.
It's
Last
us
time
we're
we did
talking
one
about.
that short, it took us 3 hours.
Yeah.
True. But you're probably bullshitting half the time as well, so that helped.
No. I think we stayed on topic.
Oh, really?
for that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
We also had like
stuff, guys.
the whole panel. So
But I will say, crafting. Besides that, I know it's. I will say for you personally, I really do recommend the Rats in the Wall. I really do.
Okay.
I gush about it a lot, but it's probably my favorite Lovecraft story that I've read.
There's
will
so
end up
many
getting
good
to
ones,
them
though.
all,
There really
bro,
are.
so-
That was one of the great things about him. So someone actually compared my writing to his, and I thought, okay, I don't see it, but thanks. It's because
Who's
getting,
that? I don't see you doing epistolary stuff.
No, I don't either. But
Which book did they say that they were comparing it to? Your most recent book?
Your story. Self-published yet?
Sorry.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it could be. It was either that one or the first one.
Well, the one you made for the skyships. Oh man, that one had a heavy Call of Cthulhu feel to it.
Yeah, I wasn't really going that route, but I totally agree because that story took on a life of its own, and
Well, Lovecraft, like I said, found influence on you, man. So it's not surprising that you would even subconsciously reference
well,
him.
I've been reading Lovecraft since I was 12, and I've read everything he's written multiple times, and I really appreciate it. This segment we've been doing because I have some traditions around Halloween. I start reading Lovecraft, and I run Caliban.
Yeah, like I'm gonna try and play Bloodborne for Halloween as well, and I might replay through Dead Space even though I only just beat it again like 2 months ago. Because that Dead Space is not just like Resident Evil, but it absolutely is At the Mountains of Madness.
Gotcha.
But it's
Essentially, in space. It's essentially a planet cracker. They're spaceships that crack planets open for resources, and it goes silent, so they have to investigate it, and they get trapped there. So, I would check if you can play the original PS3 version if you can get it on PC. It's a good game.
I got a recommendation for you guys. I don't know if you know. I've been looking for this book, and with Shauner's passing, I was hoping to before that, I was hoping to actually buy his copy because he's like, why do you care about this book? It's not that big a deal. And it's called Scythonian Stars. I'll put a link to it because I found the free PDF. It's Cthulhu in Traveler. Okay.
Oh, nice. That sounds really cool. I need to play Traveler, to be honest. I really do.
It's one of the best sci-fi games ever. That's why it's been around. But I found the reason I've been holding off on it because the only place you can buy it is drive-through. Now, if you know anything about drive-through, you can usually get any book for like, 10, between 5 and
20
25,
bucks.
maybe even $40. This
Yeah,
one
depending on what it is.
This one is $69.99
Holy hell!
for a print on demand. Okay, and it's amazing because I just started reading it this morning, even though I shouldn't have, because I got other things to read. But it does this historical reenactment. It retells Earth history, starting from like 2009. Okay, and it was written, way before 2024. Okay, probably like 2009, let's say.
How much of current events did it predict?
A lot. It's freaking amazing.
Weird.
It's freaking amazing.
What's it called again?
Scythonian Stars with a C.
Post the drive-through link in the group chat.
Well, no, I'm going to post the link. I'm going to post the link to the free PDF. Screw that.
Oh, fair enough.
I just got to find it. All you have to do is just look up free PDF, but the spelling of it, etc. And the first like 24 pages is all flavor text and lore.
Really? How many pages are in the thing? Like about 300, 400?
I don't know. I didn't even look that far ahead. I didn't want to. But
Right.
I was sweet. If I love it, I'll wait until drive-through has a coupon or a sale or something. Otherwise, I'll just keep.
Boy, can you spell it for me?
It's
IT.
It's
What?
CYTHONIAN, I believe. Stars.
Okay.
Scythan stars.
Scythonian.
Scythonian. All right.
Which is actually a astronomical term for like dark matter or something akin to that.
Makes sense.
Justin, that was it. And that
What?
Justin, that was a dad joke. Can you spell it for me? Okay, IT.
Oh, dude.
Oh god.
Nice.
Actually, that's another thing.
I
That's
missed
another thing I have
that.
to watch. I have to watch it. The Thing.
Yes.
You know,
The
I
thing.
have the Blu-ray of the Kurt Reynolds.
Kurt
Kurt Russell. Yeah, I need to watch that film so badly. I really do.
That's a good movie.
What's the season for it?
Out there, there's a
Watch the-
I think it's a. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Out there somewhere, I think it's a comic. They talk about the creature, the thing's point of view during the whole thing.
Right.
And apparently, it's really good because apparently the creature is very confused.
Yeah, I mean, being an amorphous, shape-shifting blob will do that to a motherfucker.
Is it Classic Traveler?
I don't know. I think it's WordPress.
WordPress.
No, it's not WordPress.
That's
And it's on my other device where I actually downloaded it, which is dumb because I should have done it on my laptop.
yeah. I'm looking through the catalog on the IEU index. But there's like several fucking hundred titles in Traveler
It's weird
alone.
because this search that I just typed in the same thing is vastly different from what I pulled up on my tablet. As a matter of fact, let me go get it because it's just like 3 feet away.
Before I'm gonna jet off here because my laptop is getting a bit warm and it's getting kind of late, so I'm gonna jet off, guys. Thanks for the chat. So for next week, it's gonna be
Have a great
Innsmouth.
week.
The week after. And
Yeah,
then,
it's Innsmouth that we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Innsmouth, and then the cat one after that.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Great
Yeah.
chatting with you all. Bye.
Have a
Party on,
great
man.
week, man.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Huh. That bites. My tablet is apparently full, and I'm gonna have to delete this. Okay, I got it from the-i.eu.
Yeah. That's where I am right now. but
Okay,
I'm-
perfect. And just for shits and giggles, I'm on page, I think, 24. Yeah, it's got the stupid ad is loading. What the shit? Come on.
I don't
Okay.
get that problem. I just need to know what subsection it is.
Uh,
And then
I'm actually on page 26, but it's including the character sheet, 222 pages.
yeah. No, I'm trying to find where in the archive it is. Other manuals. No.
Now, what
Classic
can I?
Traveler. You said CY, right?
Yeah, CTHONIAN. Sorry, I got that wrong.
Okay, CTH.
I can share the file. Uh, hold on a second.
So I probably walked past it several times.
Yeah, sorry, I got the spelling right or wrong. I should
Oh,
say.
yeah, you
Where
got the spelling right. Yeah.
where's the? Oh, I can just throw it on Discord.
Yeah. You could probably put a channel, create a channel called RPG, like,
How about I send it to
links.
you?
Yeah.
I just sent it to you on Discord because that was the quickest way to do it. Uh,
Yeah. No, you
did you
didn't.
get it?
Nope. Oh, there it is.
Okay, awesome. And then you could do the thing for me. As a matter of fact, I'll do what you said, and we'll make a channel. What should we call the new channel?
Uh,
Oh, wait, can I even do that?
yeah. Just
Wait,
call it
well, on this device, create channel. What should we call it?
RPG resources,
PDFs.
PDFs. Yeah.
Text, not private. Create. Where does it show up? Oh, I called it PDRs. God, that sucks.
You
Can
can
I?
change that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can change that just by holding on it or whatever. And then,
Hey,
well,
Shadow,
it's
do you
in
use
there.
much in the way of sorry,
Go.
Shadow? Do you use much in the way of a metallic paint?
Do I what?
Use much in the way of
Metallics.
metallic paint?
What about metallics?
What's your favorite one?
My favorite metallic paint. Um, I can say that the one I probably have used the most is Vallejo's metallic blue. I'll have to find out exactly what it's called. It might have a different name. I've used it a lot, but I really am a big fan of the Army Painter colored metallic set, even though they're incredibly thick and pasty. Um,
Mm.
they water down really nicely and thin out, which means you get more for your buck that way. But you have to
Yeah,
do
since
that,
they switched to
otherwise.
the Fanatics, the only place I can find that is on eBay.
Otherwise, it's like painting with toothpaste. Mac, how you doing,
Yeah.
man? Long time no see. Uh, we had a we had a lot of fun with this story. Now we're just goofing off and
Yeah.
shit, talking about Sithonian stars. I have to now like tell myself I can't read until I finish something else that's on my desk at the moment. Uh, but it's in my free PDF uh, RPG PDF channel now. If you guys are interested, um, because
Yeah. I'm gonna.
I know that now that I've found it for free, I'll find the actual hard copy somewhere, much cheaper than $70 plus shipping. Just saying, that's just
Hmm.
I wouldn't pay $70 for like any book I can think of. Okay,
That's most odd.
like an old copy of maybe an old copy of the Deities and Demigods book with Cthulhu in it, but that's a $300 book, so I'd be dumb not to. but there. I think the most I've spent on a book in recent memory was like $40, and that was like the hardcover copy of the Rules Cyclopedia for D&D a couple of years ago, and I don't even want that one in my collection anymore. I hated it. It's not my style. Uh, the number switching for the sake of changing
Was the
rules
buyer?
to screw over Gygax just rubs me the wrong way. Especially today when you can pretty much rewrite any version of D&D and change like one thing and it's okay, and people will buy it by the freaking bucket load just
Yeah.
because it's a new, retro clone or whatever they call it. I don't even know. I'm so disgusted with that whole mentality. Let's take somebody else's work. We're at any other field, and you did that, you'd be considered,
Well, you can't copyright a rule system,
right,
and that goes with anything. It's only the art and layout and fluff, the way you write it, like the
right,
verbiage that you can copyright. And
yeah,
they actually have to do you do have to like rewrite the whole thing when you do clone a book. You can't just like copy and paste it.
right. But I mean, if you think about it, any other kind of writing, you're called a plagiarist,
Yeah.
and I'm okay with uh, people why some people do that. Okay,
You can write like the exact same story somebody else wrote. It's just you can't like have your characters have the same emotions or emotes or like you only have to change something by 20% for it to be unique and individual
right,
property.
and
So
that goes with a lot of stuff.
um
Oh, congrats, Mac! Awesome.
what
Uh,
what uh what did he say? I'm
hey,
lost
Shadow,
there.
just here for a bit in Missouri for son's Army grad today. That's freaking awesome. I
Mm,
Jackie's got homecoming this weekend, and I think he's got a date. Shh. He's like trying to be real hush hush about it, but he passed on the opportunity to go visit family for this. Mind you, he paid $25 for the ticket, but every time he visits family, he comes back with 100. I'm like, so
yeah.
grandpa, or not really grandpa money, but the equivalent. You visit the family, and they're like, here, kid, kind of thing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's my boy. I'm expecting lots of
The
pictures.
cut.
Like, no, man, I don't need his money. I'm getting ready to open up an account for him and start putting money in it every week, not every week, every month, just to help him out. Because he got that check from Emperor's Choice, and he's got another check coming, and he should start. He's
Being
16.
fiscally responsible.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, I
I
walk
told
him.
you, have them buy stock shares, not shares in the company, but in a market somewhere.
Maybe might do. I walk
Yeah,
into his room, and he's got like wads of money in three different places. Mind you,
yeah.
he's also
Well, especially like that, you might as well have it collecting.
he's also got like four different wallets.
Yeah,
Because he's got so much money they won't fit. You know,
yeah.
uh, and it's not like it's all ones either. This kid,
Wow.
this kid's for his
I'd
age,
be,
he's fucking rolling.
I'd be asking where he's getting all those ones from.
No, it's not. It's not. Although I do actually, prepper tip for you guys. I have an envelope that's got just under $101 bills. If the grid
Yeah,
goes down and you want gas or something like that, $1 bills are going to go a lot longer and a lot farther than other, denominations.
yeah.
So, just saying. But yeah, so I'm pretty proud of it. I need to talk to his friends. Like, hey, give me some pictures, because he won't. I'm not gonna like go into his
Here,
phone and look.
here's a picture of Steve.
Yeah, if that
You know I got one joke, bro.
were, yeah, but He's not. He's not. I don't think he's gay. I think he's just a prude, and to me that's actually almost worse, but not quite.
Just like Lovecraft.
Right? That's one of the other reasons why Lovecraft and I would not get along. I get a time machine. I go back and visit him, and I'm
What are
checking out
you?
skirts, and he's like, "Ooh,
What are you, a sodomite?
right." I know, right?
Well, that's how you'd say it back then, right? Uh, oh, fuck,
Yeah, and
man.
you guys need to do me a solid and go over to freaking uh, uh, Night Cafe and use the link and make a picture so I can get some free points, man. I'm running out of coins to draw. Not
I
even
got
draw, but
I got my own thing.
I know. Just I'm literally having so much fun doing this.
Yeah, that's why you should fucking. I'll send you a bunch of the other ones, and you can just use those when you're out of points on.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Um,
Have 30 accounts from.
well, it's kind of like a social thing as well because you have followers, people who like your artwork, you like other people's artwork, and
Yeah,
they do that
you can do
sort of
that on
thing.
a lot of them.
But they sort of incentivize it, which I know it's buying into their thing. But I haven't paid a dime, and I've made 717 images and published 218 of them, and I never dreamed I'd be able to get this kind of quality artwork this fast on my own without having to pay somebody. Uh, Images
Half your kidneys.
that I'm literally proud of. It's like I didn't do it. You know what I mean? I just
Yeah.
typed in some words, but it's like a lot of times these images are better than I ever dreamed of. And I've got a
Mhm.
pretty good imagination. Obviously there's some things you can't and will never be able to do, or at least not anytime soon. Or maybe I'm wrong, and Justin can show me places where I can actually get dragons that necks don't split and then come back together with a freaking hole in it.
You need a better computer. You need to do that locally. I don't know. Some of them might, but
I
I
didn't have a
know.
problem when I used. Let's see here. I have it up right now. It's one of them that Justin sent me. I liked.
Leonardo or
I used
Leonardo.ai.
dragons. It produced me perfectly. Oh, come on, quit freezing.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a picture I just made recently, Justin. Let me know what you think.
Yeah. Where is it? It's right
Ideogram?
here, right there. What? Oh, ideogram. Yeah,
Yeah, ideogram. Thank you.
ideogram is another one.
That's I. That's the one I remember from ones that Justin sent me a couple, but I ended up losing them because I forgot to save them, and my computer said, "Oh no, you don't need to have this up
Yeah,
anymore."
yeah, that happens to me too. So, I create a little folder on my computer. Well, I'm gonna put them both in. Uh,
Here you go, Justin.
shadow.
That's for you.
Oh. Robot with a chick standing, an Asian chick standing in front of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's more TCG speed.
I can send it to him.
Yeah.
Just as long
It's
as you
not
don't
even
expect
like
me to get erotic story out of it.
no. Just uh,
No, it's got anime vibes. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. I thought it had more of a honestly a
Wow.
Draconis Combine.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fuck the Draconis Combine.
Yeah. I should send it to
Burn it to
Ungar
the
too.
ground. Burn it to the
Um,
ground.
uh, it's just having fun with it, man.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of other things that are literally neither fantasy nor science fiction, just
Yeah,
images and studies and colors to
yeah.
learn what it's
But
capable of.
you notice that mech suit has no legs. It's just a floating torso with arms.
Really,
Yeah, if you look around the woman's hips, you don't see anything.
really,
Yeah.
because that is one thing I'm a little disappointed with. Oh, you're
It, it loses the plot a lot of the time.
yeah, it
AIs.
clearly
Oh
does.
yeah,
I
I
see.
was trying when I was messing with one of the AI programs. I was telling it to have the ship land on the because when I was making shadows thing, the ship land on the ground. I even said in the ground. No, it wanted to make everything either a flying
Floater.
what you've seen a floater, or it would be
Craft.
a human like we have now a modern spacecraft taking off a platform.
Oh yeah. A lot of them are really bad for like, give me a sci-fi spaceship, and it's just a shuttle. It's just a shuttle.
The shovel. Oh, the shuttle.
Shuttle.
No, no, I actually uh, some of the the quirks are like I had this one image of a
The,
girl. I've got this image of a girl. She's like behind the wheel of a speeder, just like doing that shit. And I said you can see a couple planets in the background. And I shit you not, I get 99 Luft balloons in the background.
it looks
Yeah.
like the AI actually melded the girl and the robot together.
Yeah, I kind of dig it now that I look at it like that. It's like, yeah, no, that's her freaking armor. She's all, yeah, come on, bitch. But I did some other things that you'd be like, Shadow did that? Why? Just because I was thinking, I want to see what I can do with the color white. Okay, and what
Yeah.
what image comes to mind was like a polar bear in the snow.
Yeah.
So, not that white. So I came up with an image, in my head. I'm like, all right, let's see if I can do that. And it's a couple dancing, in a white tuxedo and a white dress in a big white ballroom, right? Nothing
A
sci-fi or
dragon.
fantasy about it at all. Hey, what's up, TCG? We can actually see your face. Oh,
There you
nice.
go.
That's got that freaking Rat Fink kind of vibe to. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And the reason why this is actually at an odd
Oh.
angle is because I'm going to put pistons here, so it looks like it's being pushed up because
A dragon.
it's going to launch.
That really does have a Rat Fink vibe to it, don't it?
Yeah.
With
This
you
super
remember
round.
the car that had the German as the cab for the car? It was all long.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
spike. It was the old
I used to
and
love that shit.
the monster eyes from the windshield. And he did the guy that used to draw that. Didn't he do the Monster Mobile and shit like that? I want to say.
I believe so.
Who was
I
that?
went to a car show dedicated exclusively to his work, and I can't remember his name for the life of me. And it was full of people just like our friend Brian, that kind of crowd, and I was like, all right, I can hang with these people for a little bit, but after a while, it was getting a little degenerate and a little stinky and a little weedy smelling. But I'm like, especially since that was back in the '60s, and these people are still living that sort of era. I find that stuff kind of amazingly entertaining, but also kind of sad.
Yeah.
Like when you come across like real actual hippies, that to do the, like to the T, not like grandma's like, you know she's got to have a real life, you know what I mean? But I mean the living
Oh,
in
yeah.
the Volkswagen, VW bus kind of people, and they're
Yeah.
their 30s, but you know that's
Uh,
Okay. I'd rather live with my parents than live on the street like that. Thank you very much.
uh, Here, so I just did Leonardo and I asked a dragon, and this is what it gave me. And this is without playing with any of the settings.
Oop. I have to go over there. Give me a second. I'm not seeing. What did you send?
No, it's in the share. It's on the sidebar. Sidebar over
In the my channel.
there. The restream.
Oh, well, that's why I can't find it because I'm over on Discord.
Yeah. I haven't saved any of the photos yet. I'm just like all I did was say a dragon, and this is like it gives you 4 options to pick from. You
Okay.
can tell it less.
Nice.
And that's what it gave me right off the back. I could probably like refine that and say like in the distance or coming out of a cave or flying or something like that. But
not bad.
No double necks on any of them. Of course,
Yeah.
you can't see past the neck on most of them. So
right. Some of the images I've come up with were freaking hysterical.
yeah.
What does it cost?
That's just using the free tokens. It gives you so many per day.
Just be careful which setting you use, because there's settings where it takes 2 tokens to make 4 pictures, and there's settings where it takes only 1 token to make 4
Yeah,
pictures.
what I'm using right now, it's a half a token per image, but I invariably need to spend 4 or 5 to get like the one that I'm looking for, but I'll get a couple of acceptable, and then I end up deleting the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Send me
that's
a
the way
link.
it goes.
I already did. I sent you on Discord.
Appreciate it.
Right under the picture, the Leonardo is the second one, and the first one is the one ideogram that.
But I got to
DCG
be
is
careful
using.
because as fun as it is, I do have some work I actually have to do.
Yeah, and you can easily sit there, especially when you get to the ones with the more advanced tools. You can sit there like, I don't like this, change that, and the rest of the picture stays the same.
We got.
But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things.
Try what's this Mac? Wait. Up at 4 a.m. Okay, take care, Mac.
Party on, Mac.
Good seeing you. We're just bullshit at this point.
Yeah.
I told Raven, come on in after we talked about the actual book, but I don't know where she is.
She needs to start reading books so she can join us.
Yeah. Or at least doing the audiobook thing, but she does a lot of research for her other show, and I get that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if she did like a book review segment on her other show, nobody would have a problem with it. Especially the stuff we read here.
What she actually does is interviews authors a lot.
Oh, of paranormal.
Yeah, woo books. Yeah. Most of them I find insufferable, but I still try to give it a listen. She does us the solid. I'll do right back. Plus, I like to I like to stir shit up in the chat when she does the show. I'll say shit. I try to be
that guy,
but not totally that guy. But at the same time, and of course everybody.
She's lucky I don't come by.
And of course everybody is like hi, how you doing? Blah blah blah. Love your comment. Even though I'm like I know they're like because they don't have engagement. They don't have like a I know they don't have a like ban this fucker permanently button because it's Facebook. But whatever,
oh, her show's on Facebook.
It's like there's a link to it from there, and the chat is on Facebook like simultaneously as the show, so you can have like 2 things open. And I couldn't do that on my tablet, and I finally figured out how to do both. Even though a lot of the people like I can easily tell what they're all about within like 5 minutes. I'm like. It's a good thing we're friends, Raven, or I'd be out. I'd be doing anything but.
Yeah. Well, what do you think they're all about?
Well, what side of the fence they're on, which way they swing, that sort of stuff. If it's a dude, they're batting for the other team every time.
Facebook. I was thinking about creating a Reckless Rants Facebook page, and restreaming over there.
I'm doing this on Facebook as well. I get no traction except from Bubba and Raven, and maybe a couple other people. Very rarely though.
This show
But
goes over to
yeah,
Facebook.
yeah. I just had to re-up it. It said, a couple of episodes back, it was like, we're gonna lose your connection. You got to redo the thing, and I'm like, okay, I'll wait
Okay.
until the last minute. Did it today. It took like a second. I'm like, why could you just do that for me? You know what I mean? Do you
Yeah.
really need me to give you permission? I'm telling you to do it from over here. Can't you just, figure it out?
Well, it could be a security thing on Facebook's
Yeah, I
end.
know. Did you guys hear about the security thing today? Uh,
No.
the Internet Archives got hacked and like deleted.
Oh, I don't know about hacked. I know they got deleted. I wonder if our friends in Israel had something to do with that because
It's
they've
funny
been
because I know you're going to call me a conspiracy theorist, and I'm cool with that. But
yeah.
we were talking about the weather, and all my regular channels started talking about the technology. Let's just say, and going off about it, and showing actual clips of people admitting to what was capable, through from Operation Popeye on up. You
Oh
know,
yeah, I know things like harp exist. It's just like you don't need to do that when you've already got it locked. Like they always go for the like most absurd way things can be done. And that's the problem I have with that, right? It's like,
well, when
yes,
when when Michio Kako, or whatever, how you pronounce his name, is telling people, 15 years ago, about firing, 3 trillion watt freaking lasers into the ocean to create a typhoon, I'm gonna listen. You know what I
well,
mean?
I'm not saying that it can't be done. We all know that like harp exists and shit like that.
Mhm.
Um, uh, that there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's just you don't need to do it for what their end goals are, right? Like they don't need to destroy those communities with fucking earthquakes. They already got them committing suicide through fucking uh
I'll give you that, but
disparate like
think about the timing right now. You know what I mean?
well,
Um,
even that is like, uh, sorry, bro, but like you don't need to destroy a mostly Democrat territory to prevent Trump from getting votes. Like,
you mean
uh,
Republican?
no, like that district was leaning blue.
Which one?
The one that got hit by the hurricane, and it's
Helene?
like the one that just went by, and then
The,
the
the
Florida
one the
one.
one that Helene went actually after a red area. So did the one in Florida. But the one in
Mm,
Florida, like, as soon as it got to land, it just like dissipated and turned into other
yeah,
less. I was like,
yeah, but that's normal. That happens 90% of the time. But no, the one in the Appalachians actually wiped out an entire blue district.
really?
It destroyed a bunch of red stuff, but nowhere near as bad as
Huh? Because I
the
mean,
blue.
for me, I'm looking at like the
I want
timing.
to use the word county, but
You know what I mean? Because come 3 weeks plus from now, it's still going to have problems,
yeah,
and
but
that could
that's the
affect
case.
who gets to vote.
Yeah, but that's also a narrative being put out there specifically to get you talking about that.
I didn't need to hear any of the talking points to come to the conclusion myself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I could see how, if I was a bad guy, a worse guy, let's say, and I wanted to mess
Yeah,
with,
because we know you're not a good guy.
and I
um,
wanted to mess with that process, that would be something I'd consider.
yes, but you gotta understand, they don't need to do fucking James Bond supervillain stuff.
No, they don't need to, but they like to play with their toys.
No, bro.
I
Seriously,
would,
no.
I would.
Yes,
What I'll say though is the reason that I'm going to like uh, go more on your side for that is because if I was going to do it, I would do it a week before. I wouldn't do it a month before.
yeah,
In a month, those
uh,
people can all relocate and find their way to a polling station and show everybody how pissed off they are. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I do it the night before, like the water mains in Georgia kind of thing. Not
yeah.
do it not do it a
Where
month ahead of time, and make ourselves look bad because we're funneling money everywhere but to the victims. You know, that's like,
that that and like you said, if they do it like the week before or whatever, you're still more concerned with what the fuck's going on with my personal life,
yeah,
where you have time to think about stuff
yeah.
after
It's just, it's
eight
I'm
days.
I'm more upset about, the reaction to the
Yeah.
tragedies. Not sending all that money into our own backyard to help these people who are suffering in ways most of us, thank God, cannot imagine. It's like,
Well, yeah, it's like you got the National Guard stationed in Europe to poise on a war with uh, Lebanon or wherever the fuck our
yeah,
greatest ally wants us to kill next. They're getting ready to attack the Chinese for fucking uh, breaking an embargo with the same countries. Like, what the fuck are you doing there? Like, seriously.
I hear you. I hear you. And how we can be out of money for just such a tragedy. Um,
Oh, the printing press goes burr for like everyone else, and it's not even like the same department, Homeland Security, just which FEMA's under. Just gave a whole bunch of money to a bunch of synagogues so they can buy security systems because they said they were feeling scared. But people that have their houses fucking destroyed.
good bunch of. Yeah, I'm feeling scared. How about some money for me?
Yeah. No. Your hat isn't small enough.
Hey, what's up, Nerdy Ogre?
Hey, nerdy ogre.
Side ham? I don't know what the hell that means. I mean, unless it's like side chick and she's a ham beast. I mean,
I know
that's
what a back ham is.
I know what ham wow is. I don't want to know.
I was thinking honey glazed as soon as you guys were done. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I could go for some ham. I'm hungry.
Yeah, I don't think I can go for ham for a while because every time I see a fucking piece now, all I see is jizz.
You know what? This is how much I actually like ham. It's pork's actually my favorite over beef any day.
Yeah.
Well, we were watching that video that shall not be named, and I'm wondering where do they get a slice that big?
That's a fake ham, bro.
Okay, because I'm like, dude, we get a ham steak. It's like this big, about the size of it fills the frying pan. After I trim it, it still fills a decent sized frying pan. I'm like,
bro, that thing was obviously plastic.
oh, okay. I was just like, is that a thing? Because we don't have butcher shops anywhere near where I live. We've got one, and it's
I've
like
seen them
half
close,
hour.
but
I'm like, okay, that's giving me ideas. Okay, I want to make a burrito, but without the tortilla, it's going to be a slice of ham.
Yeah. The problem is there's
fill it
usually a bone in there.
I'm going to fill it with beans and cheese and rice and lettuce and tomato and sour cream and guacamole, but it's going to be.
Yeah. Honestly, bro, if you make that restaurant, the ham tortilla, I will eat there. I'm just saying. I think there will be a good version of that
No worries,
breaded and
nerdy.
deep
Hey,
fried.
you want to come in? You know where the link is in my chat. We're just shooting the breeze after the fact that we, went through the review of the Lovecraft book.
You forgot the name, and so have I. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's in my Discord channel. At the top of the page with the live stream links. I also put it in the Appendix N because for some reason I put it there first.
Yeah, you did. I don't know why you don't use the book club link anymore.
You mean the book club channel?
Yeah,
Just because I like the conversation that's going on in there. To be uninterrupted and easier to track. Stuff like that. That way, the live stream link channel is just nothing but links and whatever's the most current one. is right there. It's just
You can go into settings, the channel settings, and prevent other people from posting in
yeah,
there. They can only yeah.
yeah. Because I think there might be a couple of postings in the live stream link one, but it gets buried after a week of other stuff, and people just go all the way to the
Yeah,
bottom.
I figure the the show link would just be like when the conversations restarted for the week or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that's fine. I was just thinking of something. It's totally spaced on me. I don't remember. Oh,
So when you gonna run a game, man?
who me?
Yeah, you
I don't DM.
really?
You
I
want
kind
me
of
to
got the
run a game?
impression. But just throwing that out there. Because if worse comes to worse, you're gonna end up having to run men, not me. I can't run that game.
You
Uh,
can't.
I'm a family man.
Uh, we should get Jackie to run it. You're taking every other Wednesday off for the next year, bro.
Yeah, no, he can't. He's got music class, and
Sucks to be him.
well, he's actually getting really good on the piano. So,
Wednesday afternoons, he's got music class. No, I'm saying like from
Wednesday
school.
evening, he doesn't get home from school until 4 or 5. Classes at 6. He gets home
Yeah.
7:30. He's in bed by 10:30. So
Yes. So the show for you is at 9, right?
what show?
Uh, my show.
Yeah, it's at 9 a.m. Oh, you
Yeah.
mean from school? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no. He's not playing hooky to do that. No. Um,
I'm just joking, but
that would be
still.
funny.
Yeah.
Maybe during the summer when he's not in Mexico, we could get him to actually just play. That would be awesome. But the kid's schedule's tighter than mine.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about the new time. Uh, I like it because it was kind of partially my idea, but at the same time, I'm like, so I get up at 7, he's out the door at 8, so now I got 2 hours before the show. Am I going to actually be able
Yeah.
to go back to sleep, or should I just knock out my workout, shower, and some chores?
Do that, because that way you don't risk like sleeping in.
Well, no, my alarm.
No,
I can set my alarms. I literally every time an alarm goes off, I have it go off on 4 different devices.
Okay.
So
I do not
I-
understand people's obsession with sleeping.
it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. You
Yeah.
can't find the
It is a
link.
waste of time. If I didn't have to sleep, if I didn't have to sleep and I got to, if I could choose when to sleep, because I will admit sometimes it's nice just to ignore the world. That I will admit. But if I could just choose when I had to sleep and I didn't have to sleep all the time, I wouldn't. It's just a waste of time to me. Spend 1/3 of my life doing nothing.
Well, you're like remembering stuff and storing them in your mind. That's sleep is a big part of memory. Being able to remember stuff. That's why mine's so bad. Bro, we're gonna find Shadow's gonna find a copy of Men. Uh, and if we can't find someone to DM, I'm volunteering you.
Me?
Yeah.
I can't say I haven't done that kind of game before because I had some Murder Hobo players with some. And no, I'm not. I know it's not Murder Hobo, but I'm just saying I know how to do indecent.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you're down with that, Shadow. We got three candles in the fire right now. Uh, oh. Did we lose?
I can't find you.
Oh,
You're not in my Discord, or maybe you are, and I just couldn't find it. Can you send it to him, Justin?
Yeah.
Send it to him
Oh,
directly. I mean, I know I can
gotta.
drop it in the chat, and it'd be perfectly fine, you know. But I'm not taking the chance.
Oh shit! I gotta go over my contacts now. I don't know how you don't find worse than Raven. Damn you!
Because I've got like hundreds of contacts.
No, Nerdy Yoga.
Yeah, if you're in my Discord, it's at the very top of the channels. It says live stream links.
There you are. It is Nerdy Yoga that wants it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This picture on Discord's different. There you go.
I wasn't really looking at the picture because it's tiny.
Yeah, I just make sure. Should I send it to Raven too?
You could, but she should be here already.
She says she's offline, but I sent it to her
because she's never on Discord except Sundays, literally.
Yeah,
and that's part of the problem. Is the more you're on Discord, even just in and out, you know, to look and see if you got a message or something, the more your system gets familiar with it and makes it kind of a priority or opens up a pathway or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, so it just doesn't delete the. She deletes her cookies regularly, and
yeah.
Well, I think she said that, and like the way your passwords are saved is through your cookies,
right? Which is
like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Raven has some woo explanation as to why she deletes her cookies.
The man's out to get her.
Yeah. See, that's the worst part about it. I don't care what anybody says. If you do something on the internet, doesn't matter where, doesn't matter how good safety protocols you have, somebody you don't want is going to have seen it at some point.
And I hope you all find that picture of my dick I sent that to that chick that one time.
Oh, it's out there somewhere, and somebody besides her has seen it.
It was 2 a.m, and I was a little intoxicated, and she did ask. I think.
Just a little intoxicated.
Speaking of intoxicated,
did Shadow freeze?
No, he's on.
Oh no, okay, there he is.
Shadow has this Vampire the Masquerade ability to sit there like a statue.
That's all it says.
No, I was looking at another screen. I was trying to find Raven on Facebook Messenger, tell her to get her ass in here, but whatever. You know, she might be, being up to no good or in a coma or drunk or God knows what.
Taco Bell.
Yeah,
I hope she's seen a doctor.
She making a food run or arm wrestling cats or God only knows what.
I should do that.
Arm wrestle cats, I don't recommend it.
No. Domino's here. I don't know about there. They have
wrestling dogs.
They have this promotion called Break Glass for free pizza. When life gives you lemonade, we give you a free pizza. And I got the promotion for free pizza. So I'm going to break glass right now.
So what have you been up to, Nerdy?
Oh, so that's going to be one hell of a fart.
Just working out some bugs on the Rift's automated character sheet, trying to figure everything out. Right now, I'm supposed to be creating a dog boy.
Ooh, dog boy.
Yeah, I signed up for that. I keep forgetting to check that out.
Yeah, I haven't
part of the reason it pissed me off. Sorry.
I haven't played an actual Palladium game in...
Here's proof.
15 years.
Well,
you see,
I enjoyed the hell out of it back in the day.
I am not lying. Free pizza.
What do you got to do?
Order it. That's it.
Oh, so it's like a rewards thing or
No,
open
no,
air?
this is just like a random thing they're sending out to people. Just here's a free pizza.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm not one of the
It's a
lucky ones.
promotional thing.
Yeah, I think I put enough of the people that work there through college.
Right, right. They was probably their idea, just to
Yeah.
ease their guilty conscience. Um,
Yeah.
they make this thin crust pizza that I freaking absolutely in love with. I don't know why they cut it the square way, which is retarded.
You can change that in the settings.
I should do that because uh, we get it like the medium. We get like two medium
I'm gonna be right
pizzas,
back.
and Jackie or I can just freaking scarf down a whole medium thin crust pizza, no freaking problem. And still be a little hungry, because it is so thin. But it's perfect because, trying to cut out carbs and shit, or at least lower them. It's my second favorite style of pizza now.
Hmm.
Favorite being French bread pizza,
I
which is
got
the
it
exact
too.
opposite. What?
Order now and get a free Domino's emergency pizza to use next time. Limit one emergency pizza per customer.
Yep.
We never. Well, actually, I should check my app to see if I've got that because I could go for a pizza right now. Even though I just
Yep.
had French bread pizza for dinner,
Yeah, it has to be ordered online though.
and then picked up or delivery.
I have no idea. I'm trying to figure out how to get it to sign out. Uh,
Our local Domino's has a drive-through, so just pull up to the window, tell them, "Hey, I'm here to pick up for."
That would be handy. That would be handy. Law Dog asks Nerdy, or not ask you, but as a statement here, like the Rift's automated character sheet, but it does have some bugs and tends to add in things from other settings like perception bonus from Nightbane when RUE doesn't give one.
Hmm.
Do you like
Yeah,
the Nightbane? Do you like Nightbane?
Nightbane is the game I'm jonesing to play. I want to
Okay.
play. I have not played Nightbane, but I haven't found anybody to run a Nightbane because I don't want to run it. I want to
Yeah,
play.
I
I
don't
want
want
to
to run it
play a
either.
Nightbane.
I don't want to run any Palladium right now, but I would play it. I have, I think, the first three books, uh, and I think I even have the version that had the alternate title that they had to change because of copyrights or something. It seemed interesting, but then again, I like the video game Persona. Do you remember that for the PlayStation?
No,
Nobody here remembers that game.
no.
Persona? No.
Where am
Describe
I?
it.
It's very much like Nightbane, where you're like a high school student and you have
Okay.
this like demonic alternate ego. Doesn't mean you're like evil. You just have this alternate form where you
Yeah.
transform it, and it also has to deal with like a nether realm or something, um, where you go to this other place and do your weird stuff. In Persona, though, it's kind of like a Pokemon game where you're wandering around, either fighting these creatures or capturing them and using them to your own nefarious purposes, either adding them to your party or turning them into components or stuff. And I've got the first several versions of that game, and the first PlayStation One version of that game now goes for between 200 and 300 bucks
Persona?
for the PlayStation One. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're up to like Persona 5 or something. But if you want a Persona, a Nightbane kind of fix, Nerdy, you could probably pick up the whatever Persona edition for whatever console you have, as long as it's a PlayStation, and be good to go. Again, get that, sort of.
Yeah, I got Xbox. I don't have PlayStation.
Okay, I've got both. Um,
Kind of SOL on that one.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
think I know what you're talking about though, because I've the it sounds familiar.
It's very Japanese animation style, with the full on, Japanese school kids, that whole thing, and their sort of take on, heaven and hell and those kinds of concepts. It was fun, but it can be kind of a grind to wander around, fighting monsters while you're trying to solve the mystery that comes through the various cut scenes and clues and things like that.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I played 1, 2, and 3. I think I still have 4 or 5 sitting in a drawer somewhere. Never played it. Got the strategy guides, the whole bit. I for the
But Law Dog, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like I noticed that with like with the skills, it's adds the per level bonus at level 1, which it's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be at start at level 2. So like if you're the base skill is like 50% plus 5 per level, at level 1 it's going to show up at as 55 when it's supposed to be 50, and then at level 2 it goes to 55. But it's compared to all the other things and stuff that it saves time doing, it's a small forgivable offense.
sorry, I muted myself. Yeah. That's for Nightbane.
Oh no, that's for the Rift's automated character sheet.
Oh.
Yeah, it says somebody actually sat down with the computer and with I forget what it's called, and actually set it down where you put your skill in here, and then it just does all the math for you, and it saves time, saves energy, saves headache. It's
It claims.
yeah.
Mm. Oh. Hmm. I'm looking up this thing and it's just taking me back to their
Oh,
10 point.
I think I downloaded the latest version because
Oh.
my old computer crashed, and this is a new one, so I had to download everything. So I went and I had to go and download it,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was like, I assumed it was the latest version, but I'm a techno idiot, so what do I know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I'm totally jonesing to play a Nightbane game. I can't find anybody to run one. I found somebody who said that they would run one, but it was a play by post, and I don't. Play by post does not appeal to me.
Yeah. No. There's no point for doing that these days.
Yeah, it's like,
It's just like, how can you not get 3 or 4 people together on a Discord channel? It, a game that can't be played with 3 or 4 people is broken.
yeah.
Oh.
I'm hoping to eventually be able to get at least 3 or 4 people,
Yeah.
and maybe run a Rifts game.
Yeah. You ever hear back from that guy that was doing the Morkboard game?
Last I heard, he just said that he started a different game elsewhere because there was no interest. There's no interest in Morkborg.
on that server.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he didn't realize that there was interest. It's just misleading all around. So I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. Well, the message he originally put was so cryptic. I thought it was from you. Oh.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I thought it was from you, and I'm like,
that was funny.
The more we talked, it's like, wait a minute, he's talking like he's a player, like he's expecting me to be the game master.
Yeah, I still expect you to be the game master. Oh, so that was funny.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah. Hopefully it does pan out for you.
What? Well, no.
Law Dog, me and a few friends. Law Dog, me and a few friends are trying to get a Palladium fantasy game started over Discord. Hopefully it pans out.
Yeah.
Live stream it on YouTube, man. It's like,
yeah.
That's I plan on doing that when I get a Rift game going. I plan on doing that because I mean, every time you go to every time you, well, every time, but it's all D&D, and if you like D&D, that's fine. It's like I don't care. Play the games you like and all that, but there are other games, and I would like to see more of other games out there.
Yes, let me. Law Dog, bro, if you're going to stream it and you're only going to have a maximum of 6 people, this program here, Restream, it's free if you're only doing up to 6 people and you have no problem having that stupid logo in the corner. So you don't even have to pay for it. And it sets up easy, and whoever the host is, whoever's YouTube channel it is, obviously, just has to send you the link and you click on it and it brings you right up.
Well, even with the logo up, it's not that hard to see what people have typed, so it's not like the logo's a big issue.
Yeah.
Unlike some programs where you have the big bold text right there across the whole freaking screen. I hate that editor. I hate that movie editor because of it.
What one?
Oh crap! Let me double check. It's one I'm still technically paying for. I just haven't used it in a while. Wonder.
Hey.
Wonder Studio.
Yeah, that doesn't look studio. Sorry, my reading is actually terrible.
Yeah.
It's WONDERSHAER or ARE. I have no idea how to pronounce that.
I'll tell you about it later. I just realized something.
Shadow forgot to take his immortality serum.
No. I never forget that.
You forgot to order the Astro Glide for
the weekend. No, covered.
He actually had a comeback.
No, it's just.
I'm proud of our little boy, Shadow. He's growing up.
Little boy, shit.
He's becoming a real man.
I'm not careful. I'm going to get a real man. Right? Isn't that what you're going to say?
No,
behold,
but
your doom.
A kitten.
Yeah.
It's an albino kitten.
No, she's just very, very pale orange.
Hey, what's up, Raven?
Hey, there's Raven.
Which apparently a female orange cat is very rare. Already.
But he sent it to you in Discord, so.
It's ahead of YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, animals hate us YouTubers. I don't know what it is. Except Raven's
telling-
cats. And then, in which
These
case, they're
cats
extra
love
business.
me.
I keep telling
It's going to be
you.
harder for them when they go than it's going to be hard for me because they have attached themselves to me. I purposely haven't attached myself to them.
I keep telling you, 9 volts through a couple of prongs will take care of that.
I know you're
Don't even
joking,
have to
but
go-
that would reality that would make me cry make me bawl my eyes out. There are only 2 things that make me cry nowadays: a close family member dying, an animal dying in front of me.
I didn't say kill them. I just said tase them.
Oh,
You know, just
oh, training. You're talking about training. Okay, well that I can do.
well, or amusement. One way or the other. I have no problem with a little sadism for shadow's sake.
Yeah,
You want to wrap things up, bro?
No, it wasn't that. I was just trying to think of something cold-blooded and harsh to say about animals, but I'm going to save it for never. I haven't lost one that I've cared about in a good long time, and my boy is around here somewhere, and I know when he's gone, I'll probably shed the single solitary tear and go get a new one. Or I'll be crying like a pussy for a week. I don't know.
I think it's the second one.
Most likely.
Thank you. The peanut
I don't
gallery
cry.
is spoken.
Hey, Raven.
I don't cry for a week, but I do cry.
I have. I probably will. Nothing comes to mind though.
Yeah.
So, on to happier subjects. You got to go where? You just got here.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
It's got to go to Domino's.
Yeah, it could be that.
Hey, Fatso, she's over here.
Hey, man, I'm not going over there.
Talking about pets and showing and showing our cats on here. You probably got hungry from some Chinese.
The cats got hungry for some Chinese because
No, Raven got hungry for some Chinese.
With how many cats Raven
No,
owns,
she's
they're the ones
actually
doing the eating.
she's probably upset 'cause
Way
she-
to ruin a good joke there, Justin. Way to ruin a good
Has,
joke.
Raven has 97,000 cats.
but her favorite's missing, so she's probably
Yeah.
pretty upset about that still. It's been a week and it hasn't come back.
Does she
And
have any
hopefully-
Jamaican
hopefully-
neighbors?
Hopefully, it's not in a
Is
pet
it Jamaican?
cemetery and it comes back
Puerto
you
Rican.
know,
I think it's Jamaican.
Haitian.
Haitian.
Actually,
does
it
she have
wasn't
any
a Haitian
Haitian-
that did that.
Does she have any Haitian neighbors?
She
Sorry,
might.
I think I just ensured that this stream would not be monetized now.
Oh, I had a long way to go for that. I'm like 133 away, and I've been there for the same number for 3-4 months now.
How many subscribers do you have to have?
877?
No, total. How many do you have to have?
1,000.
Oh.
I'll get there.
I gotta work on that on my other channel.
Yeah. Because you're doing really, really well over there. I would highly lean into that if I were you.
Yeah. I haven't done anything over there in a month.
Really.
Yeah. I keep meaning to, but slacking. I'm a fucking slacker.
Yeah. You can always, turn the
Like
camera
father,
off.
like son.
What?
Nice.
Law Dog says, Nerdy Ogre, I would play in a Rift game you streamed, except I have a small kid, so it would never work. He would be running around on camera in his underwear and acting a fool. And I said, like father, like son.
Yes. Okay.
Nice burn.
Yeah.
I liked so much about Palladium, but I'm just not the combat simulationist anymore. I don't care about the dodging and the parrying and all the bells and whistles that come with Palladium. Once upon a time, I had the time for that, But if I've only got a 3 or 4 hour gaming session, I don't want it entirely combat.
Yeah.
Combat in Palladium isn't that it if oh my god, I've gotten in conversations with people over this. It's like, yeah, well, combat in Palladium is like 3 hours long. Okay, if you're I get it, you're being a little facetious there. But I understand that
Hyperbolic is the word you're looking for.
if Palladium combat is
Hyperbolic.
taking that long, you're probably doing something wrong. I'm just here to tell you.
No, you're not technically wrong. You're just brute forcing it. Technically, Palladium is you're supposed to outthink. It's like more Palladium combat is more like playing chess. If you just brute force it, it's going to take you forever.
Well, it also depends on the combatants. Let's be fair.
If you're playing the creatures with thousands of MDC, like purposely takes you 3 hours to kill. Your GM is putting you in the wrong kind of game because you weren't supposed to fight something that powerful.
When I ran Palladium, not only would I do that, but I was.
But you're a bad DM. I keep telling you that.
That's what everybody wanted, and it wasn't just like the big monster, of the night type, the big boss monster. It would be, I had a group of 10 players, and therefore the bad guys would number in the 30s and 40s.
Oh, so, there's part of your problem.
What, kill some players?
Characters?
No. I mean, players?
You're bitching it's taking too long. I'll have 10 people, and I give them like 3 or 4 times their own amount of people. It's like,
give them the same number of people. 1 each.
And you wonder why it took so long.
Well, mind you,
exactly, Law Dog.
Mind you, I played mostly like Heroes Unlimited, so when you're running like a group of superheroes.
If you're playing that, Heroes Unlimited is, I will admit, Heroes Unlimited is supposed to be a little bit Goku or Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. It isn't supposed to happen in just one episode.
Right.
Well, you also have to realize that Heroes Unlimited being a superhero game is basically like playing a fantasy game where everybody has these supernatural powers. So yeah, and if you get players who don't know their characters' abilities and what they do, and don't have it I understand that it's a lot, but at least have a little piece of paper where it has your abilities at, so you can quickly go to there. It's like, okay, I want to use my heat vision, or okay, I want to turn invisible.
It was actually more like you got your super villain, and you finally meet him, or you get you bump into him or whatever, and he snaps his fingers, and all his minions come out, and you got to fight them, and then he runs off, because he's a supervillain. That's what they do, and then they got to defeat the bad guys, and then pick up the chase again, and then of course that just goes on and on until you finally do get down to the half the party's all like laying in the corner, and he's like, okay, now I'll fight you, kind of thing, types of situations, or you've got a bunch of robot minions, or you've got the stormtroopers come in, or things like that, or you're minding your own business, and suddenly this group of whatever's just come in through the skylight and just go all Black Ops on your team and hunt you down in your ship or your base or whatever. So yeah, it was pretty gonzo. I mean, but
yeah, I mean, okay, yeah.
Even when I played like the fantasy version, nobody gave a shit about parrying. I literally, there's just like, nope, we're just going to attack. All actions on attack. We'll take the damage. They're wearing armor. It absorbs damage.
You got to let them die. Just let them die.
I probably killed more characters in Palladium than anywhere else, which is saying a lot because I started out with AD&D, and
yeah, I mean,
that was hundreds of characters.
Also, it's like people complain is like, well, there's just too many attacks. It's like you have this character that's got like 8 attacks, and this one has only like 2. Well, first of all, the one with 2 needs to get a freaking combat. Needs to get, because a basic character only has 2 attacks.
Right. If you choose not to,
so if you have not to learn how to basic, fight, at least you get 4.
Yeah, if you choose not to be the fighter, then don't get into a fight.
Yeah.
It's pretty
That's
simple.
right. So it's like, well, this character has 8 attacks and this one only has 4. So this one that has 4 is sitting there twiddling his thumb, while this one with 8 is sitting there. Well, the one with 8 needs to do something like, power punch, because that takes up 2. So now he's got 6 attacks left. And then, unless he has like auto dodge or auto parry, he needs to be dodging and parrying. That takes up actions.
Or rolling with it once you get hit.
And then,
But yeah, you have to admit that it is, at least at first blush, it is a very combat-oriented rule set.
Also, that sounds really fucking crunchy to me.
It kind of is when you compare it to any of the RPGs that came before it. You know, you like you were saying, you get X number of attacks or actions, and you can attack in multiple ways. You can parry, you can dodge, you can do a lot of things like that that aren't options in most other games. It's a little more abstract. And that was what drew my players to it. Playing AD&D, where you get 1 or 2 attacks, but they failed to understand that wasn't really how many attacks you get. That's how many opportunities you actually had to roll to hit. You might be parrying and dodging and ducking and weaving, but then you get your one chance to make an action. Are you juggling kittens?
Yes.
Knock it out. Knock it off.
I respect the skill of kitten juggling, but he didn't actually throw any of them up in the air.
Things like spell casting, that takes up 2 actions for the lower level. Lower level spells, that takes.
Oh, that's what I loved about the original Heroes Unlimited, where you could actually like be blasting off like a crap ton of spells in a round if you had higher level, on the original version, not the revised, where you actually had that chart of cast another spell, so you might get like 8 spells in a round, but higher level spells count as 2, blah blah blah. But it was still just felt so much more fun to be just like slinging freaking, crap tons of magic doohickeys or whatever you want to call them, while the fighter's doing his freaking nunchucks, and it was very. It had a very visceral feel to it. You felt like the magic user was like Doc Strange and not freaking Mortimer the nerd. You know what I mean? Just like,
hey, leave Mortimer out of this. He never did nothing.
You know what I mean, though.
And what gets me is that the same people who complain about Palladium having too many actions per round are the same ones that are playing Dungeons & Dragons. Okay, for my action, I'm going to do this. And then for my bonus action, I'm going to do this. And then with my action surge, I'm going to do this. And because I have this special ability, because I'm some freaking, I don't know, kind of creature, I get another action. And then,
I never played any of those. I never played any of those.
You got 16 actions taken, and you're complaining about Palladium having 4.
Well, that's new D&D. The people that you're talking about are like old D&D players.
Yeah. If you got 2 actions or attacks, you were high level. Period. That's first and second and 0 edition versus 3 on up, which was essentially a completely different game engine, which I get it, but it wasn't broke, don't need fixing. And I
Palladium is actually a AD&D spinoff, I think.
It's
either AD&D or first edition.
More AD&D.
I don't know if there's a difference between 2. I didn't start playing Dungeons & Dragons until 2000.
Gotcha. It has a lot going for it, because I really do like the idea of class-based with skills, because I like the class-based because of, like Bubba says, niche protection or class protection. You've got a very specific role to play, so that you don't have everybody trying to learn the same exact skills just because they think the party might split up, which is, rule number 1, don't split the party. But they always worry that at some point I'm going to need to know how to pick locks too. No,
I don't know, man. The game we're playing, we're creating. I think that's going to lean heavy into the party splitting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it absolutely should.
yeah,
But that's the way it is in the real world. You get SEAL Team 6, and each one of those dudes is doing something different.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You might have 2 and 2 and 2 out of 6 guys, but they're still splitting up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're all going to die together.
Yep. Well, I'm
We're all going to
thinking
die
more like,
separately, or we're all going to die together.
I'll go with separate, and I'll be last. Thank you.
yeah.
And by last, I mean like 80 years from now.
I think it's just 80 years. Sucker.
Right.
You're going out with the heat death of the universe.
No, he'll be the heat.
I get it, Law Dog. I get it.
He'll eventually just go supernova and take the whole universe with him.
It could happen.
Because he's
Stranger
that petty.
things have. No, stranger things have never happened.
Stranger things have happened.
Than me going supernova, taking out the planet. No.
Yeah.
No, the entire universe, because you're that petty. If I die, I take all of you with me. Ah!
You know me so well, Crafton. It's been how long? Like a year and a half, 2 years?
Something like that. You haven't aged a bit since then.
I know.
That's what I'm basing my theory on.
I literally feel like I'm getting younger hanging out with you guys, probably because you're all decades younger than me, and as immature as you could possibly imagine.
How old are you?
I'm 57.
Trillion.
With Shauner biting the dust, there's only 2 other people older than me that I know that you guys know.
Who are those?
Rick and Cal.
Cal. Rick and Cal. Not Fitz.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way, Law Dog.
Fritz, no, he's like a little bit younger than me or the same age. Same as Tenkar and Bloodworth. We're all like, it's weird. We're all like the exact same age, ish. Same birth year. Don't worry about it, Law Dog. I have some very fond memories of Palladium. My group was very excited to leave D&D behind for a good long time, except for Magic. TSR's spells were better. Palladium's spell mechanics with spell points and all that stuff was better, but their spells were weaker.
Yeah, well, like weaker, like they weren't OP. I'm okay with that.
Well, like for example, like teleport.
Yeah.
Teleport in Palladium is got a range.
Teleport sucks in Palladium.
Yeah. In TSR, it's like
it honestly does.
The range is irrelevant. The distance. The creation of magic items is pitiful in comparison to TSR. And some of the other stuff, but it had some good spells like what's the mage armor spell you can cast like right off the bat where boom 10 hit point force field around
Armor
yourself.
Of Ithin, I think.
Yeah.
Armor of Ithin.
That's a freaking game changer. When your first level 4 hit point wizard could then suddenly the equivalent have almost triple his hit points in a force field around him. Walking out the Mages Guild at first level. That's a big deal.
And on
sense,
Rifts,
though.
that's a mega damage armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But we mixed the two. We always used a lot of AD&D elements until the day we stopped playing.
Well, I'll freely admit the game I'm making is a Palladium spinoff. It has similar Palladium rules. I haven't gone quite as in depth with my rules for the base game, but I will go real in depth with the combat rules for optional. Because as much as I love Palladium, I won't say unlike Shadow, I won't say Palladium is crunchy. Doesn't take super long. But my combat is meant to be more cinematic than realistic to begin with. So I'm going to leave that as an option to be more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
But like for example, I do have parry, but you also get Counter Strike in my game, which you don't get in Blade. Because that's in my game. In a lot of cinematic situations, people will parry and then follow up with immediate attack.
Yeah, but I mean that versus needing a mechanic for that can just be narrated. You know what I mean?
That is
'Cause
true, but
combat-
it's a base. I'm just saying I'm putting it as a base mechanic in my game, which Palladium didn't.
Because despite us the way we game, real combat is not turn based.
No.
And if you swing and I parry and then I swing back, there's no delineation in was that this round or next? You know what I mean? It's like
but
second by second. You know what I mean? And you could just narrate that as okay, well next round you counter strike. Or if you want to call it that, nobody would actually call it that in the actual real world of fighting. They would say riposte or something else. It's not these gaming terms that we use unless you're playing an anime game, in which case then you would absolutely call it that.
Yeah.
And then you would yell out how much damage you did as you struck the guy in the face.
Yeah.
2,000 points.
Borderline. Sorry. Admittedly, mine kind of borderlines on being anime with the way I've designed it. Of course, it's heavily based off of Skies of Arcadia, and that is basically an anime game.
Hey,
is it?
Yeah. Yeah. BESM.
Big eyes, small mouth.
Besem,
Yeah, I'm not.
I've been meaning to check that out. I'm meaning to check that out for a little while now because.
Yeah, this is the original, and this box set came with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 or 7 different genres of playing anime. Yeah, that's the newer version. I got this many years ago, and I never got to play it, but it's got a nice, easy system. It's got Centauri Knight, Space Fantasy, Dungeon, cute, fuzzy, cockfighting seizure monsters, big robots, cool starships, big ears, small mouth, hot rods, and gun bunnies. And
gun bunnies! I like gun bunnies.
I know, right? And then the character diary and a DM shield, all in one box set. I mean, that's a lot of different, genres and completely different games you could run.
Yeah.
If you were into it. And, what's funny about that is I didn't look at the artwork. Okay. I didn't buy it because it's an anime game. I bought it because it's got all these cool sounding genres. Even the cute fuzzy seizure monsters sounds hysterical for, a one shot. You know what I mean? Especially if you ever watch Drawn Together. I want to be in that game. You know what I mean?
That is a terrible show.
That was foul and hysterical and one of the most over the top, like mainstream.
I didn't say it was bad. I said it was terrible.
Yeah,
there is a difference.
But I like, I mean, if you want to imagine your character in my game as a Japanese anime character, how am I ever going to know? Do I care? No. If you want to describe yourself to the rest of the group that way, they're still going to imagine you differently over the process of the game. You're going to look completely different in each player's eyes than your own. Right, Justin?
Yep.
And it's when everybody actually starts to get on the same page that you've got a really good group, where you like finish each other's sentences kind of thing. You know what they're going to do because you know them that well or that character that well, which could be very different from the actual player, which is one of the the side bonuses of this hobby that I love so much is that when you know somebody, you know more than one person. You know them in like their Clark Kent and Superman phase. You know what I mean? Unless you're one of those players who don't bother to get to know the player. You know what I mean? Those people just show up. It's like, let's play. Okay, I'm out, kind of thing. Who just popped in? Is that Raven?
Hey, Shadow, are you doing?
No, it's this guy. What was that? Crafting, and welcome to the show, Connell.
Are you doing October?
Still, once again, crafting. Can't
October.
What about it?
Are you doing it?
Yeah, but I'm just making something simple that's vaguely orcish because I don't have orky bits and pieces laying around. I certainly don't have any vehicles.
Okay, okay.
I can whip.
I'm about to introduce you to a guy who is going to rock.
Hey, can we lose this
You're welcome.
right here? So
No. Give me
Can
a
we
second.
can we lose
is that my
the?
middle finger or is that my index finger? The roll will never know.
I gotta find it.
Oh, you can't click on the screen. I think you can click on the message itself on the screen.
No, I can just do this
Yes.
and this.
I posted like 2 different things up and it didn't show it. The first one was like, "Hello, fuckers." Nothing.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Because the last one I have is Armor of Ithin from Law Dog, then the Perry Mechanic, and then Confuses.
What was the second? I think it said. Did Shadow just say cockfighting?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
but
that's-
it means something different for him.
I always called Pokemon cockfighting for kids, but then I've got this game here called Cute and Fuzzy Cockfighting Seizure Monsters, which is a supplement or whatever for Big Eyes Small Mouth. And now I want to read all of these books all over again.
Yeah, but like I said, it means something different for Shadow.
No, it's just because it's.
I could just
it's
see
not
2
really-
wizards with their wands out. Magic missile. No, I magic missile you.
Yeah.
That magic missile is awfully gooey and white looking.
What you
Oh,
preferred
I will
another
put this in
color?
Discord as well.
Yeah, I prefer magma and burning like hell over gooey and white.
I will put this
Gooey,
over in
gooey
Discord
love.
as well, Shadow, in your miniature section. But
Okay.
that is a link to a guy who does nothing but scratch builds for orcs and even a warlord titan.
You think I got that kind of time?
Or money.
No, it's not. The money's not the problem.
No, but
You know, if I
it's,
want to do
it's
something,
the
I'll
orc
make
one
it
that
happen.
it's
Within reason, when it comes to this hobby. If it's like $20, okay, maybe. That's not a big deal. But creating like vehicles and things like that, that's reaching into a little more. And when you're talking about a lighthearted, competitive, one-upsmanship, or at least make something really, really cool out of nothing. Right now, I've got like nothing. I'm working with a Pringles can and some clay. You know what I mean? And some fake vampire
you don't
teeth
got
from
anything you
Halloween.
can just tear
Oops.
apart. You don't
That
got anything
sounds
you
like
can tear
most
apart.
nerds' day long.
No,
After midnight.
all my vehicles are exactly the way I want them.
Hey, Connell, long time no
Oh,
see.
Well, in that
Hey,
case,
how
for
you
anybody
doing,
who is
Ogre?
interested, hey, Shadow, why don't you put the link in the chat
Hi.
for people who's curious? This guy
Oh.
literally does true scrap builds. He will take scrap junk, and I should say he does true
Yeah,
poor.
like Armstrong.
Scrap junk and turn it into But he
Armstrong,
also has
the guy
some
who's-
tips and tricks that Armstrong didn't use.
Hey, what's up, Janet? Long time no see. Chewy,
Hey,
what do
Janet.
you want?
Armstrong is
What do you want?
Armstrong
You
is
want that?
another one I would suggest to people who want to do an October build.
Yeah, I don't have his link. If you want to go
But
grab
you are-
it, and do that. I'll fix it.
I'm not entirely. Hold on a second.
I gotta fuck with my dog
I'm
here
not
for a
entirely sure if I
second.
can find him. but I
Oh,
can
say hi to
easily-
everybody.
Whoa!
Say hi.
I think I
Whoa.
might have thrown it.
Cockfighting to fucking with my dog now.
I love my dog.
There's
loves me,
laws against
apparently.
that kind of love.
So, Janet, how's the other planet doing?
See, he
So,
apparently likes me.
All right, what's Armstrong's channel name?
Mad Eye Miniatures.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, down you go. Down you go.
So, Ogre, it's been a minute. It has been a minute since we hung out.
Yeah.
A week and a day.
No. Me and Ogre haven't hung out in a long time.
Glad to hear it, Janet. How's your show doing?
When was the last time? What was the RPG's dumbest game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's been a while.
I haven't seen him on the tuber a lot lately. Is he still doing his thing?
My Fridays are booked solid. I haven't seen Max and the gang in like a year. I saw him today over on Bear's thing because he was tearing apart Condor, and I had to get a piece of that.
Woohoo!
Oh,
It's not that we don't like you, Condor. We just don't like you. Wait.
Yeah. Glad to hear it, Janet.
Yeah.
Again, your show's on Friday, and I'm in a game on Friday. So whenever you see me, it's because the game got canceled, and I could stop in to say hi.
Wait. Am I supposed to be nice on this channel? I keep getting these things mixed up. Which channel can I be the true and
You're
honest?
such a liar. You're the same everywhere you go.
That's not true.
Okay, you're right. I've never seen you in church.
That's fair.
I've never seen a church and Connell in the same place at the same time. So
I go to church twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week.
I've never seen Connell
Catholic?
at a church
And
in the
you
same
still come
place
out like
at the
this?
same time.
Can I get
Why
the
do you-
name of your priest?
Why do you think I'm so tan?
That's what your church is on the beach?
Every time I walk in, I burn a little.
Anytime, Janet. Thanks, Janet.
No, Crafty Gamer. Yeah, I'm Catholic.
And real quick, Janet, you got to stop by on our Conspiracy Iceberg show every other Monday. We're going to do one next Monday at like 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think you'd get a kick out of it. It's a lot of fun. We talk about all the conspiracies that are out there. I think, like I said, you get a kick out of it. You guys too. You should show up and just stop by and say hi, and watch Bear and Raven duke it out, because that's mostly what it's all about. I just sit there and handle the chat. Jackie introduces the next theory, and then those two just like. But
they agree on everything.
Oh yeah, sure they do. No, that's that. But it's all lighthearted. You know, he bursts her bubble and she takes it like a trooper. And God, that sounded awful, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
he fucking perverts. But
hey,
you know,
hey, I'm not a pervert. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm a provert.
Okay, you're the one that fills
I'll
the
allow
show.
I'll allow it.
Oh, I was listening to you guys talking about the parry system in combat in RPG. And there was a system, was it Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball Z came out with an RPG. It was crap, but it had a very interesting system. It was a D6 system.
How many?
Just each person got 2.
So 2.
And the people were fighting at the same time, but it was basically a roll-off. If you rolled higher than the other person,
yeah, it should just be a contested roll. That's pretty basic,
right?
You know, action reaction system. You know, who reacts to either situation better by virtue of the die roll plus whatever modifiers there may or may not be. It's a simple, you know, logic issue. You know, I'm going to punch you, I'm going to dodge. Well, who's better? Who gets a better number? They succeed. Or maybe, you know, you could.
Well, the counter punch
airs, I suppose, but what's the fuck? You know,
with the counter punch concept, there is a term in boxing called the counter punch. It is actually a thing.
If the counter punch, right? But counter attack.
We
don't talk like that in the real world.
Right.
You know, on the mat, in the ring, on the street. You know, you don't do that unless you're in, you know, elementary to middle school and you're play fighting.
Right, but no, I didn't hear the counter attack. I heard the counter punch. I'm like, wait, no, show that is actually a term.
No, I'm just being pedantic on the terms.
Okay. But
you know, we're gamers. We're gonna do that sort of thing, and that's why.
Hey guys, I gotta go.
Okay, hurry up, man.
It's been fun chatting with y'all.
Fine, he shows up, drinks all our beer, eats all our Doritos, and out the door when we run out. I see how you are, man. You're welcome back anytime, bro.
All right.
And do me a favor,
Yeah, just
because I know
bring
you're going to
Doritos
see it
next
before
time.
I do. Tell DM James I'm not avoiding him. I'm just swamped. I got a bunch of things I got to be doing at the exact same time he's doing shows, which is like always, it seems.
Always, yeah.
Just tell him I love him, and I'll see him soon. Fuck, he's
Alrighty.
got my phone number. He can just call me. If he's feeling lonely and he needs some,
Whoa! This is not the Bad Touch channel.
See you later.
Are you sure about
he's
that,
exploring.
Connell?
Yeah, right. Are you really sure about that? No, I mean, every time I show up, he gives me the, where you been, man? I thought you don't like me no more. Like, no, dude, we're friends for life. I got a lot of shit to do during the day and the night.
Like the beginning of deer season towards the end of deer season, I'm going to be busy. I help my friends knock down their deers. Process, man. I'm fucking tired. Process deer. So I'm not going to be around as much as I want to be. But I like money and I like deer meat.
I've never had deer. I do want to try it, but
Venison.
if it comes out gamey, I'm going to find a trash can.
It's gamey.
Well, everything is gamey unless it comes from a fucking grocery store these days.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not. Cows don't even taste like cows anymore.
No, because I know what gamey tastes like because I had duck, and I'm like,
duck and deer they don't.
Not the same kind of gamer.
I can extrapolate mentally, and I'm like, I don't like this. I'm not eating this. And anything else that's similar, it just.
If I made it into a fucking chili, you'd fucking love it.
You could make freaking rocks into chili, and I would love it.
That makes.
I just want to know how you don't like duck, man.
Duck, because it's got that taste like a dead animal. You know what I mean?
That's because it's a dead animal.
Dead animal?
Yeah. Bacon never tastes like that.
Most certainly it does.
If I make you duck bacon, you'd eat it because there's bacon in the title.
I would try it.
Yeah.
But
we're not going to get much bacon out of a duck, but it can happen.
You get the one strip.
But it's really good.
I've had salmon bacon and it was fucking amazing. Anyways, so today was your book club review on H.P. Lovecraft.
Yes.
I haven't read him in years.
It should literally be required reading in school. I'm not sure which story, but something. By the time you get to middle school, you should have read one H.P. Lovecraft story. I don't care who you are. Male, female.
Not high school, maybe college.
No, middle school. By the time you go, before you
go
into
grade
high school.
Grade 2.
I read The Telltale Heart the day I graduated kindergarten. So,
well, that's Edgar Allan Poe. That's not H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, that's his predecessor and favorite author. So, and horror is what I'm getting at. No, I don't think children, getting out of kindergarten or in first through fourth grade should be reading horror, just like they should be reading porn.
They should be reading Stephen King.
But by the time they graduate 8th grade, they should have read something. I'm not going to say traumatic, but frightening.
You have Frankenstein. You have
Dracula.
You have Dracula. You have
Great Expectations.
That's a great book. I love Great Expectations.
I fucking hate that book.
That's a high school level book. I'm thinking.
I read that 4 times in high school. Every year for 4 years, we had that in our English class.
Man, what the fuck school did you go to? They only had like 3 books where you went to school, man.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, it was the same history book for all 4 grades. The same English book for all 4 grades.
The Invisible Man.
Phantom of the Opera. Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I'm just saying, there's books that are very much kid level.
Catcher in the Rye. Sorry.
Catcher in the Rye. Have you ever read that piece of work?
Yeah. Or Mice and Men.
Mice. That's high school. That's high school.
Lord
of Flies.
Yeah, that's middle school. I read that in middle school.
you can read that in middle school, but not Dunwich Horror or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I'd give you some of
Or-
these books would be great. H.P. Lovecraft would be great for high school. I'll give you that. But not middle school.
Well, not now because they're all pussies. But
Yeah.
I'd be hard pressed that when I was in junior high.
dude,
Well, that's because you're a
literally
pussy.
I literally read my first H.P. Lovecraft story before 6th grade.
Yeah.
We literally had a book fair. You know what those are, right? Where they
Yeah.
give you a little
Yeah.
magazine and you can buy
Yeah.
books, and then you get them. One of my first book club books or book fair books was a paperback of short stories by H.P. Lovecraft.
That explains
Uh,
so much.
And
I was big interest. I mean, in in junior high, middle school. See, I read most of the classics by that time. I was really into Sherlock Holmes.
Same here. Which is also another should be required reading. Let's teach
Far
the
better
kids.
than the stainless steel rat.
Well, just the idea of deductive reasoning,
Mhm.
without call it critical thinking,
Yeah.
trying to figure shit out without needing, your phone.
I think the last book I
Whoa,
read in
what's
junior
this not needing a phone?
high was probably Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The first one was the
Yeah, I
last
didn't like
one.
those books.
Really?
Yeah, hey, don't get me I don't mind comedy like that if it was a TV show, or a movie. I get that, but a book, and I realize that to make a movie you got to write the thing first. What's up, TH? Don't recognize seeing you.
The
Yeah, I'm actually familiar with that concept, TH. I don't like novels or what have you that are going out of their way to try to be funny. It just doesn't. For some reason, it comes off either pretentious or
It is a British book. They're all pretentious.
right.
oh, that's not true.
But you know what I mean when you read something and they're like trying to be funny on every freaking page. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems forced. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, it wasn't. There was drama in there. It's like the first one's good, but the second one and the third one, it's like there was nothing for it to like serialize. Like it just got played out really quick, I think.
Oh,
With the
I also
series.
read the Wizard of Oz also in junior high. Wow. That book
Real
is-
quick, TH, welcome to the show. I don't think we've met before, and I remember the video series on what you're talking about, Teletubbies being, eldritch horrors and things like that, and all the other weird things that went on with the Teletubbies. I used to work in a costume store, Party City to be exact, and we had Teletubbies stuff all over the freaking place, and it was creepy as shit. What do we got here? Mad Eye Miniatures. Thank you, Crafting.
Sorry it took me so long to
This
get the
is our
link.
good.
When I put Mad Eye Miniatures into the YouTube look search engine, it goes for nothing but Harry Potter.
Harry
Oh,
Potter.
Then I had the dumb moment when I realized you sent it to me, so I had to go to Discord. Oh, there it is, Mad Eye Miniatures.
Yeah, that's our friend Armstrong. He does Gaslands and 40K stuff, a lot of scratch building, amazing stuff. And if you just want to chill out, watch him paint up a Hot Wheel for Gaslands and just be able to like really actually relax. His show is literally like the most relaxing show out there. Just listen to him talk in his endearing accent and just do whatever crafting or painting or whatever you're doing, and you'll find your stress level is just like gone.
Or if you're over the age of 21 and up, and you have stress in your life, can I recommend a fine cigar? If you're a smoker, if you're not,
Can't you do both? Can't you smoke a cigar while you're painting up your whatevers? And
some of that stuff is fucking flammable.
And if you live in the region of Illinois, feel free to come by. What's that cigar lounge called?
Ash Cigar Lounge in Peoria Heights, Illinois.
Back in the second days.
Hey, we're trying
Ash,
to get a
something like
commercial out
Pokemon.
here, bro.
I was, yeah, it's a really fun place to be. I recommend it if you're in the Peoria, Illinois area. Check out Ash Lounge.
Yeah, I can't smoke cigars anymore. It's too much nicotine at once because I've never been able to master don't inhale.
Well, oh, yeah.
It's like talking to your high school sweetheart. You spit, you don't swallow.
Uh,
No. You want her to swallow.
Less messy.
Baby, if you love me, you'll swallow.
I know. Well, so my aunt lives down in Florida, and this past week down in Florida has not been a fun place to be. I heard from her earlier today. She is good. So for those out there who have family in Florida, please check in on them. The
No.
Tampa area has been hit pretty damn good. Uh, make sure your loved ones are still, amongst the land of the living. Is kind of me being nice right now by saying this. Unless you're a Canadian, then you just don't give a fuck about the rest of the world.
No, that's your country.
Wait. How many war crimes does Canada have?
Less than yours.
It's probably
we're just better at it.
It's not a war. It's not a war
You
crime
see-
the first time.
Yeah,
here's also the thing.
That's our line. We created that.
We have more war crimes on record. We don't know everything the Canadians did.
They weren't war crimes when we did them.
Did it involve a wood chipper? Because
Maybe. We did tie a guy to a chair, crush his testicles, and then threaten to have his wife and daughter sexually assaulted till death.
oh shit!
We called that the Nuremberg trials.
Oh, please, come on.
Well, that's what we did. We were in charge of that, by the way. So, and it was a very. Let's just say the commies witnessed it and said, "Okay, we got a new court system, but we can't go that bad." Oh. Oh, Canada.
Let's see.
We're very nice, hey?
I try for Halloween. I always try to watch at least one horror movie a night, just because it's Halloween and it's that type of season, right?
Yeah.
And I can watch a bunch of the new ones, but they don't feel the same. Granted, I did like I like the Tim Curry's version of it, but I do like the remake a whole lot better for different reasons. I don't know if I could just make myself. I just got done watching the old Salem Lot. Holy crap, that movie is so fucking old.
Well, what one? The one from the
70s?
70s?
Yeah.
There's one from 2004 that was a TNT miniseries that I really like.
Robert Lowe or whatever his name in it.
Yeah, Robert Lowe, and then there's the one that just came out on the 6th that I downloaded.
The one that just came out on the 6th feels a whole lot like the original one.
Okay.
Nope. Yeah.
Okay, so there's like a sequel to the book, right? That the Rob Lowe one feels more like.
Oh, that's not good.
What the
Rob Return to Salem Lot one that they did back? That was like, what was it? After the first one came out was trash.
Well, you didn't like the second book?
I didn't read. I know I might have to read the second book. I didn't know there was the same lot.
The second book takes up like a few years later, and they're like traveling, trying to find the vampire that got away.
Oh no! There was a TV special called Salem Lot, Return to Salem Lot, and it was.
I didn't see that.
That one was trash.
which one? The 70s, 80s one?
Yeah, the Return to Salem Lot, where the vampires were basically pilgrims. It was just trash. One of the main actors is The original ADA off of Law and Orders back in the 90s, 80s. It was bad.
Oh,
I only remember the original, and it was kind of
It was
yeah.
hokey for its time.
It's not like the book, right? The original movie is not like the book.
I think it's close. It's been forever since I read Salem Lot. I might actually have to read it.
I would have to rewatch it, but I'm pretty sure they cut the kid out of the story, don't they?
You know the kid.
Yeah, I remember the kid and the vampire coming to his window at night.
Okay,
That was in it.
yeah.
That was in it.
Then I'd have to rewatch it. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, the only thing I can remember.
question.
Go ahead, Crafton.
Connell. Sorry, I'm a little tipsy right now. Do you able to get all your dice into the dice bag I sent you?
All my dice do fit in that bag. The problem is, and this is not your problem because the bag is absolutely gorgeous, so is the figs. The bag, I just moved, right? My stuff is still basically packed up. All my gaming stuff is stuff what I really fucking need is still packed away. So I do love the bag. I appreciate the hell out of that in the miniatures that came along with it. You said that was ostrich?
It's either ostrich or emu. It is definitely bird leather. And those are the only two birds big enough to produce that kind of leather.
Wow, that's really awesome, man.
I like banana leather.
I got it at a thrift store for. I got about 50 pounds worth of leather at a thrift store for $50. All that's perfectly preserved sheets.
Really fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was only half of it. Because I was working there, I let them sell the other half for actually more because I get an employee discount. I think it went for like $100. The other half of it.
Sweet.
So, Crafty Gamer, what's your favorite Halloween horror movie?
Favorite Halloween horror movie? Pretty much anything from the earth. Oh, good. I hate that movie.
Well, what movie?
For me, it'd have to be anything for the early Freddy series. Because Freddy was one of the few things that actually, I wouldn't say scared me, but made me pause. Horror movies didn't scare me as a kid. But Freddy did, like, ooh, that'd be nasty. You dream this horrible nightmare and it actually happens.
Well, yeah, you can't die.
Freddy was a chump, in my opinion. I didn't like
Freddy was a coward. Freddy was a coward.
Let's get it right.
After children.
Freddy, he was a pedo.
Yeah.
That's why he's a coward.
Well,
in the original lore, like the original movie, he was falsely accused, and then they changed it to make it real, like what actually happened later.
I like the concept of it being real, as disgusting as it is, because it fits the character so much better that it actually happened. Versus he was falsely accused.
I don't know about you, Justin, but I don't know if you remember Crafty Gamer back in the 90s. I'm pretty sure Shadow remembers this. There was a lot of daycares that got into trouble because a child who was lying said one of the people touched him inappropriately, and it turned out not to be true. And it was like a husband, a wife, and their mom that ran the daycare, and it did not go well for them because the child lied.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if you ever looked into that, the child was going to a therapist for something else, and the therapist did the suggested
hypnosis,
and was being suggestive during the hypnosis, so it was implanted memory, and then the family told the other parents, so they ended up sending their kids to the same therapist, and the therapist was like programming them to say that shit, right? Like that's one of the reasons why you can't trust quacks, because like that thing was literally ginned up in a therapy office somewhere, and people's lives got ruined over that crap.
What's up, Eldred?
My sister had her.
But we're getting ready to wrap up.
Yeah, my sister had her daughter in therapy for a while. The therapist convinced my niece that doing chores around the house was child abuse. So my niece literally called CPS.
I can just hear my stepdad. You want to see child abuse? I'll show you child abuse. Oh wait, he did. Really quick
Yeah,
though.
don't even get me started on CPS.
Well,
Uh,
let me finish because
yeah.
there's a bit more to the story. When the CPS lady showed up, she said the worst that had happened is the fact that the carpet was really old and degrading, so the carpet needed to go out of the children's bedrooms. That was it.
That's it's like I'm not doing that.
yeah, it's not their call.
Yeah.
You paying for it? Otherwise, hit the bricks, bitch.
Well, I'm
Sorry.
saying that's all she said. I mean,
Yeah.
after being called CPS about child abuse, she said, "Oh yeah, those carpets are not good for children," and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, technically, she was right. Technically, she was right. Somebody told my nephew that if you took a shit in the toilet, a snake would come up and bite you in the balls. So he took shits in the corner of his bedroom.
Oh.
So the carpet did kind of need to go.
With that caveat, yeah, and albeit, I never saw the carpet, so, but either way, I'd be like, you gonna help out with this because it ain't my budget, mind you. My
Yeah.
carpets would never be like that, and for the most part, I have very nice tile everywhere. So
Yeah, and you can
Well,
always get a carpet cleaner for that shit.
here's the topper to that. They were going to they're changing the whole house over to wood anyway. The carpet is original from the 860s, I think, actually. So it's amazing it isn't literally just falling
so it
apart.
was Shag and Krusty.
It ain't crusty where
Or like my first van. Oh yeah.
The first house I
You-
lived in, we had shag carpet and I had Legos, so I hate shag carpet.
well, it's not
Oh.
quite shag or not anymore. If you look at it, it's the most if you in the spots where it hasn't been worn down, it is the small thinnest shag you can get.
And everybody knows shag carpet belongs on the walls of your van. Just say it.
Yeah.
Not in your
Insulation.
bathroom.
Bow, bow.
So going back to the original question, Shadow. Since we're wrapping the show up, anyways, what's your favorite Halloween movie? Scary Halloween movie.
Scary movie or Halloween movie?
Let's say Halloween. Let's
Halloween
October.
movie.
Oh, well, that's different.
I'd honestly probably just go with Halloween 1.
Nice.
Go with the classic.
That is classic. We watched it on my channel.
Oh, what's that one?
Yeah.
If you're talking Halloween movies, my favorite is totally different because I was
Okay.
you said horror, you said scary
All right.
movies.
Fair enough.
My favorite Halloween movie.
Nice,
What's
Eldrad.
that one? Anyone seen the movie where a kid made a deal with basically a demon, and so his soul was to be taken by the demon, but his friends came to save him, and in the end they each split a piece of their soul to Clavigus Mountroud.
I know what you're talking about. That actually originally comes, I wish Bubba was here, from a Rod Serling story called "I Refute Thee, Bilsey."
Well, that would have to be my favorite Halloween movie.
Okay. All right.
I refute the abusing. Fuck you guys, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, that was such a bad movie.
Yeah, that's a bad movie.
It's a
Best-
classic, though.
Yeah,
All right.
it is.
Yeah.
I do have to
guess-
admit the clowns are hilarious.
I guess my favorite Hollywood movie growing up, still is today, at 40 years fucking old, is God, what was it? The Monsters Club? No.
Squad.
Monster Squad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good film.
All the classic monsters.
Mod Squad is
Groovy
Monster
Ghoulies,
Squad.
but a movie, basically.
Yeah.
Which
there's
was,
a
oh
movie-
my god! If you guys have not seen the Groovy Ghoulies, oh my god, that was just
I've seen
like
the Goonies.
no, the Groovy Ghoulies. Oh my god, was
Find a
that?
link to it.
Oh my god, I don't even know how to describe it. It was
Bad.
okay. Imagine your favorite, the Dracula, the werewolf, but they're 60s hippies.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Oh, I think I have seen this.
It's just I've never
I
seen.
think I'm tapping out on that concept.
It was just the. Oh my god! I don't have words for it. I'm still baffled and mystified as to how that was a thing back in the 60s, but it was. And it literally makes the monsters look like freaking, art.
Highbrow.
Yeah, it's just like, holy. I can't get the picture of the werewolf in a vest, love beads, and shorts and sandals out of my fucking head.
You're not doing enough acid. That's why.
Oh, I think it's because of, not in spite of. Groovy Ghoulies, yes, the Groovy Ghoulies. Go check it out, and you can thank me or berate me later.
I will berate you, but I do that anyway. So
Yeah, that's your job.
yeah.
Speaking of job, since we are wrapping up, tomorrow we'll see you guys all over at Justin's show at the regular time, which is 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Avocado time, noon everywhere else, I guess.
And Monday we're pushing it back an hour. We're going to start at 1 my time from here on out.
And I might actually either be late or miss the show because I have to do something in the morning I forgot about that I cannot get out of.
Early shooting?
No. Although I will be armed.
Good one, Connell.
Although I will be armed. Yes, nice.
Oh, I wasn't talking about that kind of shooting.
I understand, but I will be armed.
He's going to be armed with condoms.
Is Sexy Kelly instead coming over?
No.
Yeah. And Kelly is a dude. Or a goat. We haven't decided yet.
I actually dated a girl named Kelly, a nice Irish girl who was a minister's daughter. I'll tell you about that one of these days when we're not live.
What? Wait. No, it's the best time to tell us when we're live.
Well, maybe I'll save it for tomorrow if I make it in time.
Okay.
What do you got going on, Connell? Anything?
Hanging out on anybody's channel is willing to have me. I'm hoping. Hopefully, yeah, basically. Here's
You're always welcome here, little brother.
I appreciate.
What are you doing tomorrow at noon? Because Shadow, the fucking.
So the part of Shadow will be played by this guy.
Shadow
I
might
would
not
love
show
to
up.
join you, but I have to be my mom's taxi driver tomorrow.
Yeah. Just get some two-sided tape and put the phone up on the
Yeah, I'll see what I can do there, Hoss. Ugh.
Okay. And TCG, I demand that you show up on time.
I will certainly try. Problem is I wake up at 8 o'clock, just an hour before you go live.
There's no try. There's only do.
Yeah. You're in the same time zone as Shadow?
Yes, because I live in the part of Idaho that seems to be absorbed by shadows. Now,
Idaho!
Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'll actually give you a description.
Idaho, the place that stole all of Ireland's potatoes.
Here's how the time zone goes.
It wasn't
Idaho. It absorbs Idaho. Comes in and steals Idaho.
Gotcha.
Well, half of Idaho.
That's weird.
And I live in the half that lives in that time zone.
Okay. Still. I'm okay with you waking up an hour earlier and then coming on my show. I'll send you the link. Yeah. You're always welcome. Okay.
Yeah.
Wrap up, Shadow. I gotta take a piss.
My battery's about dead, and I got to take care of some stuff. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great show without me, but hopefully I'll be able to make it. I just don't know yet exactly the time that I have to do the thing. Thanks for showing up and playing along, everybody. Had a good first hour and a half on the book, which was nice, and then everything else was icing on the cake. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one, everybody, and happy trails.
See ya.
Fuck you, Condor! Away!
Hawkman, dive!
Wait, what?
Can't take you anywhere.